Hello and welcome to Holding Action. The show where the chaos and combat is controlled by the rules of Dungeons and Dragons. We are going to get into some fun stuff tonight.
Oh, I like that.
But before we do, our very own David Jones, Mr. Sproigins himself, is here to talk to you about not only an important partnership, but an important event. Jones, would you please regale the people?
Yeah. Regale?
Regale.
Yes.
Nice. I'm going to put the regale all over you.
I'm going to regale you on that.
So, like, this stuff comes to me, and I don't really look into it until it's time for me to look into it. And I, like, needed to do, like, a crazy amount of, like, research for this one.
Well, I know it's not normally your thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So the neat partnership that we have right now is with the Gaming Goat.
Mm-hmm.
So Gaming Goat in Egan, they're the homies, friendly local gaming store to us and other Minnesotans. So they're having a special event. But before I get into that, I want to remind the people that tonight, just like last week, dice down, we're giving away a box of D&D Dragon Heist miniatures. These are like maybe 3 weeks old.
Yeah, very new.
A month maybe.
Yeah, very new.
I didn't even know these were out until it was like, hey, we're giving these away. Like, I didn't even know they were out.
That's how we roll.
So, we're going to give away this one at the break. So, stay for the break. Listen to the code word. Put that in chat. And then...
One time.
Only once. Don't be don't double dip the chip.
Yeah.
Okay? That's a reference to a show that I have not watched a lot of.
I like
so to get
Seinfeld?
into this, so when the thing that came through the wire that I was sent by Deej that the Gaming Goat is going to have made me, I'd never heard of it before at all. Felt like a super rare thing. So like spent a couple weeks doing like a lot of research and I don't know these kind of things. So spent like 2 weeks of doing just like hardcore nonstop research.
That's good.
So I had to write it down. I'm kind of nervous about it.
You're good.
When I get to the end, like I don't kind of want to bring it up, but like it's kind of like okay. So an email came through that was like, hey, Gaming Goat is having a special event for Rave Nickels, and so for me, I have no idea what Rave Nickels are whatsoever. But I'm not like let me get through it. So I'm not like, for one, I'm not a party guy. Like I'm not a party guy. Stop. I'm not a party guy. I'm not like a connoisseur of coinage, right? So I have to actually do a bunch of research on what a rave nickel is or rave nickels.
Rave nickels.
It is not a thing that I know what it is. So
Jones,
stop it. Let me get to my thing. So I decided to do quite a bit of research using the internet. So I started researching raves because I didn't know when that became a thing. That like became a thing in like the 50s in like England. So then at some point it got here to America in the 80s. During the 90s it became like a real big thing. And so raves kind of led me nowhere. So then I just started kind of like adding a few things into the search bar, like rave nickels, rave nickels, magical gatherings, rave nickels, because of what was in the email.
Sure.
And so there wasn't like a lot of things that I was able to find.
do you have that email?
I found, but it's on my phone. I don't get internet down here. So I found literally one thing. It was a blurb on an Internet Archive MySpace post from 2006. And the text inside of the post was like weirdly coded. Like I was able to like figure it out with the help of my 11-year-old son because he's much better at technology than I and definitely you.
For rave nickels.
Yeah. So throughout the coded text, I was able to figure out that Rave Nichols was being brought up, and it was someone attempting to search for Rave Nichols, which led me to a very back-end website. So the website itself was coded to look like a walkthrough for the Dreamcast game Jet Grind Radio. But through there was a few links that I could click, which took me to a post. It was almost like a Reddit. I'm trying to hold it together. So I got to this website, and there was just let me get through this, Steve. Stop it. Let me get through it. So I got through to the back end of the website. So there was one post by this gentleman or gentlewoman named dankperp14 with a recent post of 2017. So I decided to use the internet to reach out to Mr. Perp or Mrs. Perp. They were generous enough to let me know that the last known use of Rave Nichols was in Accident, Maryland. Okay, 2017, just last year. Young party goer. I don't know the gender. I don't know the name. I am glad that I don't know any of this.
You don't know the name at all.
No. I know. What? This is like I've never done this much research in my entire life, even when I was in some sort of schools. So they had an incident with an overdose on these Rave Nichols. And he wouldn't give me, or she wouldn't give me any other additional information. Just for secrecy, they decided to not delve into it further. So I used an actual telephone. So I called the police station in Accident, Maryland, and I talked to a detective there. I'm not going to provide his name on the stream because I don't.
Protection.
For my protection. So I called and I talked to the detective. He wasn't super fond of like an out-of-towner calling in about this incident. So he very aggressively took all of my information. Stop fucking talking while I'm doing the thing. So he took all of my information and said that he was going to have his associates contact me.
Uh-oh, that doesn't sound good.
So I'm super nervous about the whole thing. It's been 2 days now, and I haven't had anything. I've had like a couple missed phone calls, and like I've had like a weird email. So I changed my email. So I'll let you guys know what I changed. So
that explains why you didn't get.
So I am incredibly nervous about the whole situation, and I literally don't know why the Game & Go would do a pre-release for these things if it's like such a. I mean, it's like it says what. Not Rave Nichols. Not Rave Nichols at all. Is this what the email was supposed to say?
The first email had an autocorrect.
I had to change my email, and there's a detective that's has my information in Accident, Maryland because of an autocorrect.
I think we should just move on, maybe.
What is a Ravnica? Damn it. Okay, so there's a Gaming Goat in Egan, friendly local gaming store. It's having a pre-release of Guilds of What is the Guilds of Ravnica?
It's a card game. It's called Magic the Gathering.
I know what Magic the Gathering is. Your email said Magical Gatherings. Okay, Magic the Gathering, Guilds of Ravnica pre-release for a card game, not a drug. Okay. Guilds of Ravnica pre-release September 29th, Saturday. That's the next Saturday.
Like a
this
week?
Saturday? Coming next Saturday.
Not tomorrow, but the next one.
Fuck, I'm like, shit, I'm sorry, Game & Go. Okay, next Saturday, the 29th at 6:30, go to the Game & Go in Egan, Guilds of Ravnica, card game.
Not a drug.
Not a drug.
Not associated with Rave Nichols from MySpace.
$25 entry to get in to play the card game Magic the Gathering, Guilds of Ravnica. Pizza is provided for those the people that are playing the game. Also, the Sunday after that, the 30th. Also another pre-release of Not Rave Nichols. Guilds of Ravnica card game Magic the Gathering.
Yes, multiple events.
Nailed it?
Nailed it.
I'm so sorry.
Check.
I'm gonna turn my phone off. I don't.
Jackie, with scheduling, if we can move it right along.
Sure.
You okay, buddy?
You good?
I mean,
It's fine. It's fine. Jackie with scheduling.
So we stream every Friday, 7 p.m. Central Time. And with the Guilds of Ravnica, we will also be there on Saturday playing with everybody else.
She got the email.
Or watching, because I'm not
I might
good
not
at
be
it.
anywhere.
I'm sure he'll be there. So Saturday the 29th, we will be there as well for the Guilds of Ravnica. And then also this coming Wednesday the 26th, we are actually going to be doing our fun shot of Aliens Heritage Protocol. So excited.
Finally.
So tune in on 7 p.m. Central on Wednesday the 26th for Aliens Heritage Protocol fun shot. It's going to be great.
Yes, and we will be releasing the full PDF of all the rules, classes, how to play it. It's literally built on the D&D framework. So if you play D&D, like D&D, interested in D&D, it's no different mechanically. We are just reskinning it. We did a ton of work. We have monsters in there. We have the individual classes, the rules modifications, all outlined in there. And we'll be releasing that for free the weekend after we play. So keep an eye out for that if you would like to introduce something new to your table and or just have some fun with some new stuff that's not the D&D you've always played. So keep an eye out for that. With that done, is there anything else?
Yeah, where do I find some rave nickels?
You don't.
Ignore that.
It's kind of sensitive right now. Like, I think, B.
I have a detective that you could call.
I'm missing magical items.
Are they rave
I have
nickels?
4 magical items for
Probably in
you,
his
but
stuff.
you can't
That
win
is the
them.
thing.
If you enter the code word, you can win these magical items.
So, diving in then. Last we left our intrepid heroes. The group had secured passage to the unknown, mysterious, and altogether avoided island referred to as Shaft Isle, in search of a powerful wizard suspected to possibly be Hera's biological paternal father,
Dagalon.
Dagalon.
Dragonborn.
After arriving on the heels of completing a very interesting piratey-ish voyage, the group decided to camp for the night on the beach before exploring the island, which was covered in this necrotic energy and essence that seemed to be sapping the life from the trees, vegetation, and the like. Pushing forward in towards the center of the island, after the discovery, they decided it was best to pull back and hold up temporarily. Resting for the night, Walker waking up before anyone else, early to bed, early to rise, and only needing 4 hours sleep. Walker,
Elves do.
it's true. Walker was visited by a mysterious stranger yet again. He was compelled to leave the safety of the mansion, walk through the mucky necrotic energy of the forest surrounding Shaft Isle, and led to a rock with some type of language written on it. As the conversation ensued, Walker was enticed, invited, or otherwise suggested to come home. And, cutting her hand with her own dagger, placing her blood upon the rock, used whatever this particular object was to disappear and portal out. Walker snapped back to the safety of the mansion right after his meditation and immediately pursued Sproigins' counsel in a frenetic approach. The group was eventually roused to the happenings of Walker's potential expedition, as he was not certain it really happened at all. But further investigation led the group to connect some dots and ultimately determined that Walker had indeed left the mansion that night. Rather than pursue that particular endeavor at the moment, they decided to stay on track for their original objective and push towards the center portion of the island where they believed this wizard to be holed up, and one of the very few locations where vegetation did not seem to be super tainted, as they had observed through the tiger's eye cast into the sky. Upon arriving, they found a cloaked figure standing in front of an altar with a carved beast, only to discover, through their stealth and sly approach, that from behind, at the very least, this was clearly a dragonborn creature. And as contentions rose and the group was on the absolute precipice of either fighting or revealing themselves, Hara stepped forward, surrendering all hostile intent. The mysterious figure and her walked towards one another. When his eyes welled with tears, his arcane defenses dropped, and he called her by her born name, Mehelith, identifying at least some form of familiarity that many in the party do not even have. However, the joy of potential reconnection was shattered when the crack and thunder of portals opening nearby set forth a swath and horde of demons swarming towards the group from the distance beyond on the other side of the island. Compelled for the group, or perhaps Hera's safety, the Dragonborn told Hera to run and took off in flight to slow the impending swarm down. With the demon hordes approaching on the ground, the group decided to plane shift towards a previously discussed location to follow up on some missing pieces for Walker, transporting to the Shadowfell. But before jumping in the safety of the necklace, the rest of the group and Hera all saw a massive and powerful demon leading the charge on the ground towards them, which was identified through out-of-game context only, that Hera's brother, her eldest brother, Obex, had been a part of this incursion. We now pick up with the group freshly transported into the Shadowfell. The party spit out from the necklace and staring at a vast expanse of broken seashell-like shale in a white, ashy landscape. You see ash raining from the sky as if it is snow. A complete thick coat of gray and sick black clouds cover the entirety of the sky in any direction that you can see. The ground crunches under your feet. There are sickly looking dead trees that pop out of the ground like cactuses in a desert. And in the very distance, you see what appears to be a massive structure that's similar to a mountain, but much more definitive and organized, similar to like a desert's or the Devil's Tower, a spire of earth erupting out of the ground some miles in the distance. You all stand there now alone, recovering from your transportation. What happens next?
Well, a lot happened in a very short amount of time. So I would be standing there trying to figure out what emotions. You said there's a tree or something around?
Yes, there are. It's not devoid of any kind of vegetation. It's just everything is dead and it looks dried and gray, and the entire area is tinged in this dull blue that's almost permanent dusk, but you can tell that maybe light would be shining through, but you can't see a source.
What's the closest thing that I can hit?
There is a tree not too far from where you guys came in. It's only a few inches thick. It's sort of bent over and sickly looking.
Does it look like it's gonna come to life like a Feywild tree?
Make an intelligence check.
17.
If it does come to life, it doesn't look like it'll put up much of a fight.
Okay, then I'm gonna kick it and try to get out some of the anger of my brother showing up just when I found possibly a parent who actually cares about me. seemed like.
So you all see Hara then sort of march towards this garbage, gnarled-looking tree, and just this roundhouse kick blasts through its trunk, and right off her shin and the tip of her boot and some of the armor she wears on her leggings, you see this explosion, plume of ash just kick off and start to drift away as the rest of the tree falls and lets out this gentle rolling ash across the ground as it too just disperses sort of into this nothingness with the stump remaining.
Did it feel like balsam wood? Or was it like solid?
No, it felt solid.
Then I want to keep kicking it.
Eventually the stump is reduced to this ashy mess, and it remains this gnarled, rooty mess that's more firm and solid, but dispersed ash sort of litters the area around you.
It's like a Van Damme blood sport. Kind of just go kick the rubber trees.
Do you have my magical items?
I'll look at that.
Okay.
Should you just let her get some anger out?
Yeah.
Hara! Hara!
Walker, stop.
Hey.
Let her do her thing.
Okay.
I'll stomp back. Well, I'll walk back.
Okay.
Walker, you didn't tell me the Shadowfell was a paradise.
I don't know anything about the Shadowfell.
That's fair.
Hara. Ooh. How?
Do you know what just happened back there?
Yeah.
So,
Who was the good guys?
Well, I think that dragon was a good guy.
that was Dagalon.
You know for sure?
Yep. Same guy who's part of that necklace.
For the necklace.
And I pull out the locket with the half-torn picture, and inside is a younger-looking white dragonborn with both his horns. And
Okay.
he's whatever. We found it a long time ago, and it looks like Dagalon, and it is now. You know how my eyes aren't like a solid color like most tieflings? He had like my eyes with the red in it. I always wondered what that was about. I just thought it was demon things.
Demon stuff.
Yeah. Demons.
Do you?
But so that, and he knew my real name.
Your real name?
Hara is the name that I chose when I when I left the Hells, because I didn't want to be that anymore. But my real name is Mahaleth. That's my demon name. My demon name is much longer that I don't know where it's at right now. But that's the first part of my demon name. And he knew it, and the only people who know it are family. I wasn't important enough for other people to remember. So, and he looked like he cared. Like he was happy and then terrified to see me. And then, so that really big one that was in the front when all the demons showed up,
Like the big one that was bigger than the other big ones?
that was Obex, my brother. My eldest
the
brother.
last one?
So he was a half brother? Or
I mean,
is
like,
that
yeah.
Dagalon's kid too?
No, I don't have any that I'm aware of full siblings, but my
Okay.
mom's a succubus. She just
Sounds like you said
his
sex
dad's
bitch.
no
Which, like-
his dad was a fire giant actually, which is why he's kind of large. But
Your brother's dad is a fire giant?
Jeez.
How? I mean,
I don't.
How tall is your mom?
Anyways,
How small is his?
Not
nah.
even important.
Nope.
And usually I would find that important, not even.
Let's just put it this way: he has always been the best at everything. Like
Your
he
brother?
didn't really treat me badly, but that's because I was never in his way. He was always about like being the top, being the best. That crew of his is like this like special type of team that just like they send out to do the like really hard jobs.
Okay, so
Like
do we need to go back then?
we wouldn't survive. Do you see how many? Like they had everybody there.
But if that's your dad,
He told us to run. There's
Do you think he saw it was you? Because he took a swipe at us.
He was powering up because he didn't know who we were. And when he recognized me, he said my name, and then he told us to run.
No, I'm saying Obex.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was probably sent to kill us. And if he was there, then Nivus was there. And that's my other brother.
So
And he's a smarmy little twisted bastard.
who does
So
your brother work for?
I don't know who the leader of the demon armies are, but
You didn't grow up with that, or?
I wasn't important enough to learn anything like that. I just knew that he was important in his group. And even as young as I was, he was already climbing the ranks and was becoming the leader of that special forces. With my other brother, who, if I can find my piece of
Here,
paper about my
you can
background.
use that one.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Livus is a motivator. So he likes to motivate people to divulge information.
oh, that kind of motivator.
Yeah.
That's like the opposite of what I know as motivation.
Yep. So
That's mean.
a chain breaker.
Go.
Go for the weakest link, and
Okay.
he. I hate him. He learned some of his trade with me as his test subject. So, if
Well, we kill him first.
I mean, like, yeah, that's cool. But if my eldest brother was there, he was there too. They're both a bunch of dicks.
And I mean, was that a normal size hunting party? Was that extraordinary? What?
That was a lot of people.
Well, it was a lot of people, but is it a lot of people for them?
Well,
or is
usually
it-
you can just send my brother out. I don't know. Well, him being the leader, he wouldn't usually be out, but not just having him. But do you see how many portals there were?
Make
I didn't
an
even
intelligence check.
know how many people there were.
Make a history check.
Do you think
19.
You don't have specifics, but it would appear as if the entirety of the chain division was sent.
So I think the entirety of the chain division was sent. So
Yeah,
like
So they either
they don't
had-
need to
had-
send that many people usually.
They had to have known who was going to be there.
Do you?
They wouldn't
Well-
send the chain for us, right? But they would probably send it
They
for
might.
Dagalon.
They might have done it for both because he made it seem like it felt like a trap
For who?
for me. Because he told me to run, and if me showing up where he already was,
Okay.
or like
Was it
us
was
connecting,
it actually
I
him?
yes, that was Dagalon.
For sure, and it wasn't someone that looked like him to lure you there?
I mean, you didn't make a check, but I'd say you're pretty convinced. It looks like the picture you have.
I think so.
Hara,
And my family's really shit at pretending to have emotions for me.
I mean, no offense by this. Can you think of any reason why an army would be after you?
I think the army was sent because he was going to be there, but I think they were there to stop
But
us.
if you just wandering around were able to find out about this sorcerer, don't you think that this powerful army would be
Well,
able to figure that
what
out?
did the land say?
It was keeping him there.
So what if it wasn't an prison for him, but he was trying to fix what was ever broken, and they did it to him, right? That's what the land said, is that they were made that way to keep him there.
Yes.
So I think it was a trap. They screwed with the land to have him be like, what's going on here? And then me being who I am, I would eventually come there. So they would have known that he was already there. It wouldn't have been for him.
I'm not proficient in Arcana, but what I identified the... Would any of the magical properties have, when I identified it, lead me to believe that it was a defensive spell or I just don't know if it's
Make a
something,
history check.
I just don't know if that's something that Dagalon would have put to.
Actually, just straight at raw intelligence. Go on your college learning here.
That was almost a 1.
Dirty 20.
So you don't know a lot of the specifics. It wasn't a specific area of study for you, but what stood out to you as far as what you're aware of with learning magics and casting them and having an academic understanding of magic, this was not a spell. This resembled symptoms more of a curse. This was not a cast and concentrated on him type of thing. Something was placed here. The spell was anchored by something or tied to something or tied to someone, and a curse, probably of some high level, was used in this instance.
Yeah, the land was cursed. It wasn't like a spell placed there.
I think that's what you said.
It was a curse place.
So I think they did that to intrigue him, knowing that I've always been curious. And if because there were enough demons in some of the stuff that we're in that they would know that we've been involved in a lot of this stuff, trying to get the pillars.
Well, what's the point of cursing the land to draw him there, and then if they know that he's there, why not invade at that point? Why wait until now?
Primeval awareness.
Because if he's been there for however many years, 10 plus years.
It might not have been 10 years. He might have only been there for the past few months. We didn't get to talk to him, so.
Yeah.
But I think it was a trap for us, knowing that you guys would come with me, and I would eventually be interested enough to find him, and then I could use that he's Dagalon to get you guys to come with me.
So
it's to stop us to get the pillars, to stop their war. And then
who is it that you're saying put the curse on the land? Are you saying Dagalon put the curse on the land?
No, the demon, some plan of the demon army, I would say. And it's all
I think that's
supposition.
I think we don't know enough we need to get back there somehow.
I would, especially with the time differences of the planes,
Well, we don't know.
We can't get back right away. We're here at the Shadowfell, and I'm going to respect that. But I do want to get back and make sure he's not even if he survives
I
it.
go and hug Hara.
Thank you.
Well, let's figure out where we are.
So we're in the Shadowfell?
You do get pings for undead.
Okay.
To change subjects, we're in the Shadowfell Walker, which is where that white lady is. Is she our enemy? Do you want us, if we see her, do you want us to straight up attack her, or do you want to get information? Because she would have information about your past.
Well, her name is Advara.
I just didn't know if it was okay to say it when we're in her plane.
Well, I don't think she owns it.
I mean, she's a princess.
I just,
And
in the Hell's
It might
names,
be trademarked.
I mean,
well, in the Hell's names can kind of have some sort of power, and I didn't know if that was the same here.
Should we call her who must not be named?
She who must not be
Who
named.
her hummus?
Just say her name, okay?
Mr.
Advara.
Hummus.
Your sister.
Well, maybe.
Your past life sister.
So
Maybe.
I have a thing that I would,
According to Sproigins.
if you would be okay with it, I would like to try to use one of my spells, and you can let me know if you are comfortable with this or not.
Okay.
I would like to use one of my spells for to implant into you the visions that I received
Of my
of
life.
Padir. So that's the battle in the Zandian fields and stuff like that. But it's
Do you think this will work?
well, it was very clear images of Advara and Padir, and you would be able to know if that was the same.
But
woman
you can do this.
I would like to try. I've never used this spell before. It's a spell that I've been researching for a while and didn't know if I wanted to take, and I think that I can do good with it more than I can do harm.
You're not gonna kill me.
Oh God, no.
Okay.
Just real quick.
What?
I'm gonna go over and touch Sproigins and cast guidance.
Okay.
Just be good.
Be good.
Don't.
I mean, I don't know if this is a thing. You can think about it, but it's something that I would like to try to do. But I don't know. It's up to you for how much
Do it.
you want to know about.
At this point, it might be our only lead of how to survive here. Because if I'm correct, none of us have ever been here.
Just our dads
And the only information that your dad's journal had was that everyone,
went a little bit nuts.
and then we don't know how they fixed that, and then all the pages are torn out.
Okay.
We know Apollonia was lost here.
Yep.
That's what the journal says.
Is it quick, or do we need to like set up camp somewhere?
Well, let me look at my notes.
And while he's researching that, Avalonia was lost here. If I want to know who right now, in case anything affects us.
And you're talking about one of my previous
Right.
lives.
One of your
Avalonia.
possible previous lives,
Yeah.
Avalonia, that was with our dads. Do you want to stay with us? Like, I don't want you to like go on something where like Advar is like pulling you away. Do you want us to fight for you? I want to know how do you feel? What do you want? What are you expecting from all this?
I don't know. I mean, I would say at this point we have to consider her somewhat of a threat.
Okay.
The undead lady that's in your head telling you to kill
Well,
us.
She's not on.
there was a
dead.
ghost lady that I thought was friendly until you.
Well, not
used
undead
some-
as like whatever, but like unable to die.
Okay.
Immortal.
Right.
So I don't know if she is friendly or not entirely, but considering the fact that she told me to kill all of you, I'm gonna guess she is not. But if she is my sister, I would like to see what could be done about changing that.
Okay.
Well, I
But-
think if I can successfully give you these visions, you would at least have another piece of her life of knowing how her curse became.
Well, and I think even more importantly, I can prove that the person I saw is actually her.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Which
So-
would be good.
Let's start there, Sproigins.
cross-examination.
All right.
I will grab myself because I am assuming that's what needs to be done.
Okay.
Guidance.
On yourself? Okay. Sure.
So I will, because I've never done this, would I have an idea of what level I would need to cast this at? Since I'm not trying to alter any of his actual memories.
Right.
Um,
I will say make an Arcana check at disadvantage.
okay. 17.
17. So you are only trying to implant something you received in a moment, but the memories you received or the visions that you were able to glean from the spell's core, it seems stretched over the course of perhaps multiple years even. Difficult to say, but you recognize maybe the fundamental purpose behind this spell is not going to encapsulate the full breadth of the experience you received.
Okay. I'll do it at 6th level
Okay.
instead of 5th.
And what specifically are you trying to implant? Just the
I would like to implant the like quick couple minute visions that I received when I did the legend lore.
Okay. So, Walker.
I assume
Sproigins,
he trusts me, allowing me to.
would you like to try and save?
Nope.
Okay. So,
But I do have guidance.
Sproigins walks up to you. You see his face clearly, the Fu Manchu still dangling. And then you see him kind of starting to stretch his hands out wider and wider as he brings them together, and you see this arcane sort of string stretched between his different fingertips as he continues to finish casting the spell, and he just gently washes them across you, and you're sort of stuck, and all you see is his eyes for a moment. And you snap back to normal, unsure. And then immediately, as you're searching through your mind, you black out completely. You're shocked, you're torn, and you are looking over a massive battlefield covered in green grass and tinged and stained with huge spatters of blood, light glistening off of armor from fallen people. And you sort of center in, bird's eye view of this smattering, a roiling of armor and swords, and you see a blonde-haired elf dashing between targets, huge, massive sword lopping people in half, cutting off limbs, driving down these monstrous-looking creatures. And as you start to zoom in closer, it seems as if there's a whole army of elves fighting a massive horde of demons, now distinguishable off the red blood of the ground to be wearing similar colored armor. And the vision continues to go further down. And all of a sudden, as you approach the back sort of knotted ponytail behind this blonde elf, you drift through the form and see, almost first person, this sword swinging. And you see yourself as the camera now moves with you, completely chopping these demons in half and body parts flying everywhere as you dart, twice as fast as you're even used to, it seems. And as you've laid waste to all the enemies around you, you begin to march forward. And you turn around and you see a blonde-haired woman, complete white, gleaming armor, remarkably shiny for being pure white in color, paler skin, still blonde hair, and you see a demon has a dagger pierced directly into her side as she falls, calling out for you. And you see this black, viscous poison crawling up through her veins, up to her face, quickly flying across in an instant, cutting the demon down, pulling the dagger out, placing your hand on the wound, closing it, seeing that you are all being surrounded. Another flurry, demons laying waste, and you see blackness for a moment as you're teleported away. The vision fades again and you snap forward to an old man, an elf, so considerably older than you know or experience, talking about Pedir's bravery, what he's done for the Gloryfell, the hero to his people, and through pomp and circumstance reaches forward and seems to place a crown on your head from his own before taking a bow. You turn to see legions of elves in this shiny silver and gold armor, cheering and raising spears. You look to your left and see the same blonde-haired figure, Advara, standing there with you, cold sweat on her face, standing there in an honorable pose, but with difficulty keeping it together, it seems. The vision snaps again. You see her in a bed, paler now than ever before, black veins crawling across her face. A number of robed individuals coming up to you with mumbled words that you can't quite make out. And you see from your form a glass thrown across the wall, storming out, shutting the door behind you to greet another group of people. Anger and wordless frustration is all you can see with no words. And to snap again. The same face, clutched and wrapped around your leg in a pained desperation, too frail to even stand. Advara's face, now almost a pure white, sharply contrasting the black veins. Please, brother. And her head drops down. You see the form take a knee and look up to see a massive figure. Horns reaching forward, a whip made of pure fire, entire hand engulfed in flame. And the hand reaches forward to touch your face. Blackness. You snap back and there, in a shocking moment, see Sproigins standing right in front of you.
Did it work?
Whoa.
Yeah.
You just hit him with the I know kung fu.
It worked?
Yeah, she's my sister.
Oh, fucking A. I know this magic shit. Is that her?
What? We received the name at some point. What was the deal that... Who was the person that Padir made the deal with?
We think it's Vessero.
This Vessero's like the... He was like the guy, right?
The guy.
Right. Like, Rectus ain't shit compared to Vessero.
Right.
Vessero was the solar of Asmodeus.
Yeah.
Is that how you say that?
But that's her?
I would assume that...
Towards the tail end of
Tail
your
end,
vision,
yeah.
it looked identical.
Yeah.
Seems as if the life had sort of drained from her face to that ghostly white, the poison seemingly still permanently stuck in her veins.
But,
Do you remember having any visions? Any visions before as Padir? It's been a while. I don't remember. There was a vision that you brought up of you in the castle.
I think that was the steel. I don't believe I've ever had a vision of Padir. And the group is convinced that this was my last life.
No, first.
First.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Avalonia was your last.
I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe this cycle has been going for forever.
Well, we don't know how long ago that
I
was.
I mean, we only know four names, right?
Well,
It might
I got the calendar year one time.
I mean, it's Padir, Bastille, Agramus, Avalonia, and now probably Walker.
And my
Did-
fear is that each time it ends with me going home.
Well, the last time Avalonia was lost in the Shadowfell. Like, that's what the journal said.
Lost to us.
Yeah, we don't know
Right?
what that
Yeah.
means. We don't know if it's literally lost or lost because Advara had the same conversation with him that she had with you.
I'll say all of this to you guys. I like this group and being a part of this, but I think this is the time where you need to put your guard up.
With you?
I'm not sure.
I'm not good at that.
Nope.
Just train Is to be. He already doesn't like me. It's okay.
He's ready to eat an elf.
You're not.
Just
Right now, if you try to attack us or anything else like that, do you want us to just restrain you, or do you want us to think that you're an actual enemy?
I don't know.
I think if
You right now, not the future you. Do you want to stay with us?
Yes, this is...
then that's what we're gonna go with.
Yeah, we want you to stay with us too.
But I will say... We've been entirely too good at killing, and I'd like to maybe be hesitant if we can.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Especially if it's me.
Okay.
Okay.
The plan would be to
Because I've done this
restrain
before.
you
Well, like
and
we
try
did
to get
with,
us out of the Shadowfell.
like we did with Sproigins. I mean, that was before you were, but Sproigins used to have some rough moments, and
Yeah,
we would
yeah.
like tie him to a tree.
He
I
had
had an axe that took over me and told me to kill people, just like your sister, but I actually could try because I had an axe. And look, we're all like still cool. Even though I try to kill every single one of them every time we went to sleep.
It was
And I don't
hurtful.
have to do that anymore.
Does anyone have anything for that?
You have the cage.
I was more talking because based on the experience I had, I think she is way more powerful than myself.
Just let us know if you start to feel weird or if you start to feel thoughts like. I mean, I don't know. I have something that
You
I
can't
could
give me,
possibly
like,
do, but
A bubble of protection or something like that?
you
or
don't want me
like,
to bubble on you, dude.
just let you touch my mind. Okay. What is our plan?
I don't.
Isn't there a pillar here?
Let's
Okay.
get the pillar.
We
can
What
investigate.
about the
You get the
rod?
rod, right? That
Yeah.
should get us in a direction.
So I'm gonna pull out the rod.
Okay, while Skadi is doing that, is there anything in the visions that I gave you that you saw that look familiar? I guess for me too, is there anything
From where we
that...
are?
The tower?
No, you saw the interior of what appeared to be a more established structure.
So the battlefield was like lush and stuff
Yeah, it
like
was
that.
lush and green and appeared.
Not here.
That was when it was
Not
called
there.
the Gloryfell. But viewing down in the vision of the huge battlefield, was there anything that Walker and I now saw that resemble where we are now?
You can make an intelligence check.
Natural 20.
Oh.
So the topography that you're able to identify, it seems as if this area could be it, but it could be any open, flat area that you would dedicate to having such a large battle.
Yeah.
Based on what you were able to see and based on the very different nature of the circumstances now, it seems as if this is not overtly identifiable as much as it could fit the role, but this probably wouldn't be it simply based on the surrounding trees and having such a large cliff face nearby and things of that nature. This doesn't make sense for a battle,
Yeah.
but it's probably similar in topographical layout, but you don't think this would be it exactly.
Yeah, I don't. There's not. The
Well-
vision didn't really. If
Yeah.
everything wasn't dead, so, like, I don't know shit about the shadow. I don't know how big this place is.
I don't know either.
Do we just go towards that tower?
Well, let's
Because
have
we're
the
stupid as
rod
fuck and we don't
tell
know?
us which direction to go.
Skadi, so you got us here, right?
Yeah.
How does that work? So I gave you the stone, and is it just like we show up randomly anywhere, or is it like...
Well, me never
This-
having been here, kind of.
Okay.
But like, if I go to somewhere I'm more familiar with, I'm more able to place us in a place that we are aiming for. But since I don't know, I mean, with the rock, I probably showed up where the rock is supposed to bring us. It's new to me. I'm not.
This is from Duval. Is there anything, any difference in the rock? Anything changing there?
No.
No?
What's the rod say?
I'm gonna point it towards the big building.
Still appears to be glowing.
Does it change at all? As I spin around? Okay, well, I got nothing.
There's no discernible level of change. As we previously discussed, the idea of it just being a pointer is not, it's too subtle for that. You have to dial in more readily rather than just, well, I'm going to follow it until...
Yeah.
Is there...
Well, let's think about this. The pillars that we've come through so far, we had that Carl guy from the book, who ended up becoming the Ancient One most likely, he had the one pillar. And then Udikbal, who was controlled by Vesero, had that war pillar.
Yeah, but he was like locked away.
Yeah, that's because he did some things he shouldn't have.
Yeah, but he wasn't always locked away.
Yeah, but he had it still.
True, but there's starting to be a trend of people being trapped.
That's also true.
And
But what I'm thinking is that,
I mean, the hag was in a fucking crater. We had to kill those.
and that one was, I think, the other girl from that book. I think each of these people who are stuck by the pillars are guardians of the line. So I think that Advara probably has the Shadowfell pillar.
Well,
So we need to find her.
I mean, is it just dead silence? Is there anything going on?
Not in your immediate surroundings. You are in a large expanse of, like I said, this broken shale type of material as dirt. There's, like I said, dying vegetation, and it is massively open. You see mountains way off in the distance as like sort of a mountain range. There's this large, almost cylindrical type of platform that appears to be miles wide. And then if you look sort of to the edges of it along the horizon, it appears as if there's a definitive topographical change. You could probably identify through subtle variants it's some kind of forest distant beyond that, perhaps.
Okay.
But it's difficult to say, and it also doesn't seem to stretch all the way. It's almost as if it's kind of hiding behind the structure a little bit.
Okay. But we're primarily dealing with Fallout New Vegas.
All right, so if we have no idea
With shittier colors.
what's around or what to do or where to go, and we just have to pick a place to go, are we going towards the building?
Yeah.
Like we usually
Whatever.
do?
I mean,
Whatever
that's what
that
we did
is.
in the Fae.
Well, you see a large, like, earthen cylinder stretching up into the sky. You don't see, like, a building.
But like it looks more, it stands
On
out as
purpose.
something that's...
Stands out as, like, yeah, one of the very few things on your horizon, for
Right.
sure.
I
And
mean,
if it isn't anything, at least we can try climbing it or
There'd be
something.
mountains behind your general direction, and there appears to be a forest beyond that, it seems.
So let's go towards that.
the cylinder thing?
Yeah. And also, like, you said this place used to be called, like, the Gloryfell or something like that?
That was what was said in the vision. The king, when he granted
I was the
Padir,
king.
when the king
Royalty.
granted Padir, he called him the king of the Gloryfell or king of Gloryfell. I don't remember.
Do we care about the fact that the Gloryfell became the Shadowfell? Did we want to look into that at all?
I think
Let me look at my book real quick. I don't have a book.
Okay. Well, let's go to that thing, but
I was about to say, like,
If-
I don't
if we
remember
wanna look
the
into
book.
that-
Remember,
we
I
should
got
make
that
a point of it.
Shadowfell book that gave me all the hints? It was the cheat code book.
Yeah,
up, down.
Shadowfell power.
Yeah.
on to the pillar.
Yeah.
Not the pillar, but the...
It's more like a call.
The pillar.
I'm gonna
For
let
Shadowfell.
Islock with us
Okay.
instead of trapped in the necklace.
I'll also drop to my original form.
Do we
Yay!
Okay.
I was going to say.
need to...
I like you better this way.
I mean, do we want to travel stealthily? Or
Yes.
at this point, I'm almost kind of for getting found by something.
I
But
don't
that
know
something
if I
might
am.
be something
not.
with giant teeth. You know who might want to be out?
Well,
Is
I'm
could probably be
talking
out here.
humanoid
Just that
form.
he's out.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Is.
I'm talking humanoid form.
What if there is no humanoids?
Well, then we
Can't you check
just
to see if there's
get-
like dragons and celestials and fae and fiends?
I did.
Okay.
There's undead.
I think we should stealth if there's undead nearby.
But it's like wide open, right? Like
Yeah, where we really
For
can
miles.
hide.
like
And within
nobody
those
can
miles,
see our footprints, but like it's, you know, like there's no sun to give off. Like when we were in the desert, like we become a little obscured. Like there's no sun.
Well, I could cast my stealth spell and then we would leave footprints, but
Yeah, but I don't give a shit about footprints if people
But
can
that only
you can
lasts
just
an hour,
see
right?
people.
that's true too.
I'd say we wait because we can see right now.
Well, we could at least do that and no one can follow our path.
But
I want to take a couple steps. Do I leave footprints?
The outline isn't kept very well because of this like very thick kind of gravel. It's like walking on very, very tiny pebbles. So there's the depression, but you don't leave much of a track per se.
Yeah.
You can tell a foot was placed there, but like it's very difficult to make out.
You would have to be looking for it.
Yeah, I mean it would probably stand out as a lot of this is just sort of flattish. So
Yeah.
locating a depression wouldn't be difficult as much as it'd be tough to identify anything by a track here.
I would say just save your spells. We're going to be seen.
Well, I was doing it more for you guys because I actually, like I said, would like to figure out anything that we can about this place.
Then
My
let's just go for it.
my understanding from my dad's journal is the threat isn't in the Shadowfell. We're more of a threat to ourselves and to each other.
Right. They said they were all getting nutters. Is there anything
What?
that? Well, they said that they were like starting to
that's
get
good to
negative
know.
at each other, and they were all getting like short and snappy.
You said nutters? I've never heard that term before.
Like,
It's a Hells thing.
yeah.
So like apparently your dad started fighting a lot when we were here.
Oh, you probably kicked everybody's ass.
And then
Does your journal say if he kicked everybody's ass?
no. And then
It's probably one of the pages I got ripped out.
Walker, I feel like a lot happened that involved your Avalonia,
I'm
and that's what's missing. But whatever happened and whatever's written out caused you to act really strange, and your temperament within the group was concerning.
as I told you before, have your guard up. And also, a point of note, we don't ever split up, but if we ever do, two go with me, not one.
Okay.
Just a heads up too, in my dad's journal, I'm just gonna read this verbatim. Avalonia may have more to consider than the rest of us.
Probably add Barrow.
Yeah.
And so we are off.
Alright, so let's go towards the Death Mountain.
And let's think about ways to protect our minds from the negativity of the Shadowfell.
Well,
I've got nothing.
on the way there, I'll play tunes as counter charm the
Okay.
entire way, taking one specific break to tell one joke.
Okay.
What is the official animal of the Shadowfell?
The goat.
What? No.
Oh, that would have been nice. Skadi is on brand tonight.
I thought that's what he was going to be doing.
No, but that's really good.
The
You don't even know what animals are.
no,
Yes, he does.
I know. I'm just
Is,
fucking
do you
with
know?
I know it.
You're so cute.
No, it's a greyhound.
Ah.
Good
He's
save,
just
though.
done.
Nice. Okay, so you guys.
Did he just make me do vicious mockery on me?
I think that's
So,
what it is.
As we're walking though, real quick, I want to have a brief conversation with Hara, and by conversation I more so mean two things. Wait, no, not that kind of conversation.
Drop
Yeah.
your pants.
So if that was your dad, I think that should be the first place we go when we leave.
Thank you. I would really want to.
I don't really care what they say because I get to pick where we go.
I'm sure they'll agree, but
It'll just be a trap again.
that's true.
And then also, I think it's really funny that Sproigins is playing funny little tunes for us because my dad said that's what he did. His dad did when they were in the Shadowfell.
Well, maybe it'll help.
That he would play jaunty little tunes to keep the morale of the group up.
I like it.
Hi, Sproigins!
So
Hello?
you all begin walking towards this earthen pillar erupting out of the ground that seems to stretch for miles. Each step you take, it continues to get closer, but your journey there seems to be longer than it ought to be. Each step you cover doesn't bring you a step closer as much as half a step closer, a quarter step closer. And you find after a couple hours of walking, It's close now. You can see it much more clearly. The periphery of your vision becomes more and more blacked out with this massive pillar erupting out of the ground with this dark brownish black stone that you can now more clearly identify. It seems as if the whole side of this cliff face is kind of fuzzy and has like this drifty movement to it. And as you begin to move closer and closer to it, now within maybe less than a half mile after another hour of walking, there's features, hands, arms, portion of a torso and an arm,
No, there's not.
and these seemingly decayed, decrepit skeletal forms almost appear as if they're trying to escape from this rock face and just are caught in this perpetual, eternal prison of desperate movement.
They're actually moving.
Yep.
Is there...
As you get closer and closer, they're more identifiable until you come within a couple 100 feet of it. Now see the wall straight up. Near the base of this cliff, scattered every 10 or so feet, some faces imprisoned. From just the side of the cheeks forward, look around in frantic and darting gazes, worried arms dangling out appear to be grabbing at nothing, but just in an endless attempt to touch something. There is bodies littered and stuck in this wall and in various states of decay, seem to show no sign of death, but no sign of understanding of their place either.
How close are we?
A couple 100 feet.
Do they seem to be aged at the bottom and less decayed at top, or does it seem all over the place?
There seems to be a random spattering.
Do they look, are they just skeletons, or they look like actual, like, people?
You can sort of make out some vague features. I'd say you're a little far to get specifics, but
What about elf ears?
you'd have to get much closer if you wanted to investigate a face.
What is Is doing?
He's just walking with you guys. He seems kind of off, but doesn't really appear to be overly emotive at the moment.
He's not big into gray elves.
Hey, Skadi.
It's not his thing yet.
Do you have anything that you can, like, move the earth? Or, like...
I mean, yeah. Why?
What do you want?
Just want to see if they want to escape.
Yeah, they probably do. I don't want
And then
But not want
eat
to
us.
escape to, like, get us, but, like, escape because they can't escape, so they want to live. Maybe these are all people that were in the glory fell, and now they're...
How close are we to this thing?
A couple 100 feet.
Or maybe they're used as some sort of fuel to keep Advara continuing. Either way, it's creepy and I don't like it, and I don't think we should set them free, but we can try at least one.
I don't like it either, but hear me out.
We can get a little closer.
I want to do Divine Sense,
What?
which is 60 feet.
Yeah.
I can know the location.
What if when somebody dies, what if their soul comes here?
There's no way the Raven Queen would allow that. I mean, like, for certain planes, maybe they can't help it here, but like all of this, I highly doubt she would be okay with any of this.
Yeah, well, your god isn't the only god.
I know, but I mean, she's the one who helps people to their next place.
Maybe this is...
Sometimes helps, but also, like,
Doesn't help me.
it's true. But maybe she can't.
What's your fear? That we're gonna awaken them, or like?
I mean, they're awake.
No, my
Yeah.
fear is these are all the people that are that were a part of the glory fell. Something happened. All the people that were in the glory fell are now trapped within
Well,
this mountain.
Should we explore roots, see what's maybe.
Well, that's why I was wondering if
trapping
she can move the earth to get a couple of them out. If they attack us, then we know.
They bad.
Right.
I can't really move them until I take a nap, though.
So you take a we just took a nap on the beach.
Yeah, but then she plane shifted us here.
Yeah.
That's like a lot of power.
Yeah, that's true.
And your divine sense brings back a ping of undead, but it's extremely weak. It only barely registers.
Where is it at?
You don't know? It's just within the radius.
Mine does location and type unless it's not behind total cover.
Oh, you know the location and...
Yeah, and it's only 60 feet.
Yep, so I'm going to say then...
Yeah, because that's what I was going to do.
I'm going to say you don't
How far
sense
is it
anything
then?
then.
That I don't sense.
Oh, it's
Yep,
like a
because
mile
if
or
it's
something,
behind
right?
total cover, I don't sense anything.
For
Yeah.
undead, I have 60 feet.
Consecrated, desecrated land.
I also have turn undead.
So we can nap now. Like, is anybody else? Because I know we didn't fight them, but
I use a powerful spell to put the memories in.
do we want to rest before we
walker.
take this thing on? Just take a quick
We just
relaxer.
slept.
This
I
thing
mean,
looks
I could
fucking
fu-
terrifying.
I could fucking stress sleep like an MF right now.
It's, I mean, considering.
Or do you want to just? We
Also-
can recon it, and then if it doesn't look that bad, we can do the release the people
That's
later.
true. Me and Hara could get in pretty easily.
Is it just a flat wall?
No, it's jagged. It has dimension. There's various crag points.
Is
But
it a
there's not, like, it
tower,
doesn't,
or is
like,
it a
kind of
wall?
There's not like a walking path.
How long is it?
I mean, within a couple hundred feet, it covers pretty much the coverage of your overall vision as far as what's in front of you. It appears to be at least several miles wide. Now that you're
and
up
then super
close to
tall.
it. Correct.
And it doesn't look like it was a tower. It looks like just a flat wall.
This is like a floating landmass, but with land underneath it, essentially.
Shall
It's
we
an-
try to go around it? Find a way to see if there's a way in?
Well, why don't you?
I mean, we could walk for hours.
Someone-
Maybe the whole thing is we need to go over it.
You want to go over? It's like
I'm saying maybe the
You have
people
my
in there
tiger
are.
eye, the thing eye.
We could, but what if these people just
Oh,
want to
okay.
get out? What if they want to help and they help push us up the wall?
Do you just toss it? I just toss
oh, I gave him tiger eye.
Okay.
it. I just tossed it.
All right.
You
So
just no, you hang on to it and you
Oh,
did a spell.
You, doom, tiger's eye falls on the ground.
Yeah, no, you just focus on it.
Hara
like,
shows you how to use it.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought you
The
knew.
arcane eye raises up.
Oh, this is super cool.
It seems as if, as far as you can get it to go, it doesn't clip the top edge of this cliff.
It goes a mile.
What
up.
do your elf eyes see?
I can't hear you, right?
You can hear
it.
you.
Oh,
can't see.
yeah.
You're just your vision is in.
It just it keeps on going. Like there's just more.
So like
a
it's
mile up.
and you can't see the top.
I don't want to climb that then. Even if they're nice, I don't want to climb it.
I'm like up high, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would like to take the range of the eye, and I'd like to get super close to one of those faces.
Okay. Make an investigation check at disadvantage.
One of them fucking wall creatures are gonna take our tiger eye.
That's 11.
11. So you're able to sort of find one, and you see this creature that has like stone underneath their armpit area, stone fixed around their other shoulder. They appear to be almost spilling out of the mountain to a certain extent at a decline. And they're upside down and reaching frantically. And as you kind of bring the eye in close, you see that like this portion of the lip is just completely missing and seems to be rotted away. And as the form snaps and turns to the left, the eye on the other side is completely missing, and there's this gross socket of black void that appears to turn to rot on the side of the face, and the creature is just
So It's not natural life.
This is not a form you could sustain healthily, no.
Are they similar to when we went back to Kala?
No.
Okay.
I explain what I see. They're and
Oh,
like,
good
does it
heavens.
look like this is kind of what's going on, like across the board? So like, kind of.
Yeah, there's others that are in much more obvious states of decay.
But the eye, the eye's invisible, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay,
Yes.
I'll bring it down and pop out.
Okay.
And the magic lasts for.
10 minutes.
Can you use the
I
eye?
was still holding it.
Well, I think you can look in and out of it, right?
don't-
For the
I-
10 minutes?
Yeah, as long as it's active.
Do you want to take the eye and try to see if you can look around to see what's on the edge or how long that goes for? Because you went up, right?
Because you can go a mile.
It's wider than it is tall.
It is wider than it is tall.
Yeah, like I said, it covers the entire periphery of your vision to the front.
Oh my god.
Here.
Okay, then
You can see, you can look up and see there's a top.
Oh.
Like you know it's a ways, but you can see it.
maybe we're not supposed to go this way. Maybe this is a border.
Maybe it's the alert system.
There's a shitty alert system. I like yours better.
Try the rod again. See if it changed.
Make a perception check.
That's good. 27.
Extremely subtle, but it appears as if maybe it is brighter, yeah.
I mean, I think we're closer.
We probably have to go through here, you guys. Like, I don't know how thick this is.
That's the question. Do we want to do that
Is
now?
it thick with a K or two C's?
2 C's. Not zombies, it's a K.
Alright. But there's
Anyways.
like a thick Winter Soldier zombie.
Yeah, probably.
Looks like a thick snack.
Yeah. Anyways, so we can try to go over it. We can try to go
The only
under it.
appropriate reaction there. Anyways.
We can try to go around it, or we can try to blast a hole through it.
Well, I mean, I can fly us up.
For how? What? Oh, you're a bird. I was like, when did you learn how to fly? But for like a really long time.
Yeah, we could go in the necklace and then you could...
I'm just super scared about that necklace in terms of just... Like, we've had a couple of close calls being trapped in that necklace.
That's also
And with
true.
you being 100% on your own, I'm almost inclined to us just walking.
But there's like
Well, do
just
we want
tons
to try to
and tons
bust
of
through?
undead, right? Like you guys you do your check to see if there's undead and you guys are getting massive headaches.
I'm not getting anything right now, but if they're hidden behind anything,
No, they're not hidden. There's thousands.
they're too far away from my sense. I'm not.
Yeah, no.
You guys are still a couple hundred feet away from the wall.
Yeah.
Where,
I'm only within like 60-ish feet.
I got a
think.
ping as soon as we landed.
Of undead?
But how far does yours reach, do you think?
Well, I can do a mile or 60 feet.
Okay, well let's do something, because everything's
Okay.
fucking gray and gross, and I don't know what time of day it is.
What choices do we want?
I don't.
Well, I mean, we can try to walk around it, but what if there's no end? What if it's just like the Fae and there's no end?
Yeah.
Up.
We go
Yeah,
up?
I mean, I wouldn't. Yeah, I'm definitely not opposed to Skadi flying us up. I would.
You two can both fly us up. And at least that leaves her not alone.
I can fly, but I mean, I can take one person.
Well, I could put. I don't like that either.
What?
We don't want Walker with one person. I was gonna say I could put
But
you
that's a
two-
different plane technically, right?
Yeah, but I could put you two in the necklace
I
and
would-
fly.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
but so is the
So is the mansion.
so is the mansion, and Advara came to
Anyone
him in
who
the
goes in
mansion.
the necklace with me is at risk.
But we'll have Is.
He gets beat up by porcupines.
I mean, this thing killed creatures way bigger than us.
Until he
He's
turns you
working
to
on it.
stone.
He's working on it.
I know, but remember that one time you wore those shackles and was like chained up with the shackles for a really long time?
Yeah, I do.
Don't we still have a pair of those? Or did we not snag? No, because then we got
You
whatever.
gotta walk closer to the wall.
Okay.
Basically, I want to see if we're going to turn into something and fly. I want to know how close we can get
Okay,
to the wall. If
That's
they're
fair.
going to reach out and try to grab us, then we have to be back farther, obviously.
deal. I pull out my scimitar
Okay.
and I follow behind you.
So you
I fall
continue
behind you 10 feet.
to walk forward, and the stretch of a couple hundred feet seems to take you another 15 minutes, as it doesn't drift away from you. It's just that the ground you cover almost disappears under your feet, like this.
Treadmill.
Yeah,
This is the
this
worst.
treadmill of broken shale and gray ash, still sort of raining from the sky. And as you get close, you get within 10 feet. They don't seem to react. You get a little closer, and you see one of the forms.
And I was doing the counter charm little tunes the entire way.
Seems to take notice, but reaches in this void of space that you can't see even. Is just the most primal sense of motivation, but with the struggling complexity of a creature maybe trying to understand something. It is acknowledging you in a way that you don't really recognize as any kind of actual formality, but it seems to sense you being there.
Necklace. So that one. See
You
if I
don't
can-
hear anything.
The thing doesn't even have thoughts.
Can I please detect evil and good?
You do not get a registry other than your companions.
They don't register as anything. Are my companions all good?
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Someone throw. I don't know. Is there a rock? Yeah, I'm gonna throw something to see if it's an illusion.
Okay. So you
There's a handful of dirt.
search around, just kind of scoop up one of those things, and as you have it in your hand, you kind of brush away when you feel some movement, and you see this little finger crawling in the shale.
Fuck! A fucking finger in the ground.
Oh.
And as it falls and lands, it seems to like kind of try to inch itself around and is kind of flailing like
I'm gonna step on it.
It feels like a real finger. You can sense the differentiation of space under your foot. You remove your foot and it continues to kind of just
I pick it up and I throw it at the wall.
hits the wall and bounces down.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Let's just go and.
Would
get
you
it
like
over
to
with.
throw
Yeah.
it again?
I'm not doing shit with this fucking ground.
Wait,
You
wait.
and me and the necklace. Let's go fly over.
Let's just go and get it over with.
Okay. All right, bud. You gotta get the necklace with Hara and Walker, okay?
Yep, that's two.
But they're getting in with you.
Oh,
Okay.
see if Is can turn petrify.
He only gets one of the. I don't think he can do it very often.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Nice catch.
He's still learning.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna giant
Wait.
eagle.
He only gets one opportunity to succeed at life.
Would you be able
I
to
think he can't do
explain
that
the
much.
situation to Is, or should we leave him out of that? Is he the second person in the necklace with me, or is?
Hera's
Just
also
tell
going
him-
in the necklace.
Because
Just tell
would
him to
he be
listen
able
to
to
Hera.
differentiate the directions of what we're?
Is?
Tell him to listen to me, not to
I'm
like.
gonna talk to Is.
This is
Okay.
important, Skadi.
Don't just tell
Don't
him
fuck this
to-
up.
All right.
Bud. Okay. So you're gonna go in the necklace for a little bit.
I know.
Okay. When you're in there, because I'm not in there with you.
I'm hungry.
Okay, I'll feed. Wait. Oh,
I'm hungry.
I have 7 chickens for you.
Good.
So I'm gonna pull out all 7 chickens and just give them to him.
What's fun?
Okay. Now will you listen to Mom? Okay.
Seems pretty distracted, Skadi.
All right. Are you still hungry?
I'm okay.
Okay, but we'll eat tomorrow, okay?
Tomorrow, okay.
When we go to sleep. Okay. So I'm not going to be in the necklace with you.
Yeah,
And who do you usually listen to?
you.
Right. So when I'm not there, I need you to do me a favor.
Yeah,
Will you listen to Hara?
like... What do you mean?
So if Hara asks you to do something,
Mm-hmm.
you know how like when I ask you to like stay by me or like don't, freeze that person?
Yeah, don't eat blue elf.
Don't eat
Yep,
blue elf, yes.
right.
If Hera,
Told me not to eat blue elf.
you would not eat blue elf?
Still don't eat blue elf.
But what if Hera told you to freeze somebody?
Well, I mean, who is the person to freeze?
Whoever Hera tells you to freeze.
What if she tell me to freeze you?
Then don't listen to her.
Just got rid of
Whoa.
Don't listen to Hera.
If,
She wants me to eat a blue elf or to freeze you.
right, so what mom says goes over what everyone else says.
Yeah.
Okay, mom is going to tell you right now, unless if I say freeze me, other than that, never freeze me no matter what anyone else says.
So if you say freeze you, then freeze you. Okay,
Yes.
okay.
But if I
Yeah.
never say that,
If you never say that,
don't ever freeze me.
don't eat the blue elf either.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but you're going to go with Hera, and I want you to pretend that Hera is me in the sense that you listen to her, okay?
Pretend she is you. So don't freeze a Hera.
Don't freeze Hera.
Okay. Yep. Mm-hmm.
But if Hera tells you to freeze someone, would you listen?
Oh yeah.
Except?
If it's you.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Or if it's her, because I'm pretending she is you.
That is correct.
It's smart.
This is very smart.
it. You are a whisperer.
Okay.
I wonder if sometime you can teach me how to speak to him, because I think that would be beneficial if
That
someone
is a
else
longer
could.
conversation we need to have later. But for now,
Hera.
he's
So
going to
is
listen to you.
seemingly unaware of your situation or circumstance, pops into the necklace seemingly without contestation.
Okay. So
go.
you guys ready? What are we turning into? Eagles?
Yeah. Giant ones.
Are we going to fly like an eagle?
Eagles.
And we're gonna fly like an eagle.
Okay. Okay. Falter the other two into the necklace.
All right, so you guys go in the necklace, transform into your aviary forms, and begin taking off, heading skyward towards the top portion of this cliff face, staying out of reach of the creatures seemingly trapped in the wall. However, the vague, quick glances you can with your keen eyes, they wouldn't even the ones that could see and could react to you seem to have movement so slow they wouldn't even begin to be able to come close to interfering with you unless it was by accident. Your forms continue to flying up, you all watching through the lens of the necklace as you race by this rock face of black, sort of molten rock with these figures stuck in it until you finally crest over the top of this cliff. Seemingly maybe only a couple miles high, but it took you substantially longer to get there, it seems. And as you crest over, land on the edge, it appears to be grass and dirt, but brownish, sick, dying grass, mostly barrenish, just scattered patches of what greenery suggests it might even have been grass. And as you land on the top, there seems to be a humanoid figure standing right there in front of you, wearing
Always.
a burlap, sort of brown muted robe.
Always a fucking figure in front of me.
Slowly pulls his hood back and looks at your bird forms. This seems to be a regal-ish looking elf, but the ears are extremely pointed, very noticeable, very distinct. has gray rim of hair that's completely devoid on the top that seems to run long with silver streaks all the way down, disappearing behind his form in this potato sackish type robe that appears extremely just decrepit and would be poor folk clothing in any other city you visited thus far, but seems to have a black sash that is kind of nice, sort of securing its waist. It seems oddly form-fitting for being such a rudimentary looking garment. Pulls his hood down. Can I speak with you for a moment?
I'll drop form.
I mean, I guess I will then too. It's
I mean, I can't talk as an eagle, so.
All of you, please.
Does he look familiar? Does he look like a snooty elf from Fire Shield?
No.
Good.
You letting us out?
Yeah.
I want to. Do I sense that he's?
He seems to be fixating on your necklace.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Do I get the sense that he's aggressive at all?
Make an insight check.
I mean, if he's aggressive, let him out.
That's not great. 15.
15. He appears as well-mannered as random folks you meet in any other city. Given the circumstances, it seems like he's as non-aggressive as he can be.
Okay. How close to the edge of the cliff are we?
15 feet or so, give or take.
How far is he from me?
Probably about 5 feet.
Oh, good. Okay. I'll turn to the side so I don't fall toward people out. You know.
Onto him?
Yeah.
Slam
Well,
him.
you're all seeing this. You
Yeah.
see through the
We
necklace.
just can't get out.
And I'm gonna everyone, including us, everyone out.
So you all spill out. Thank you.
What's going on?
Who are you?
Yeah.
My name is Barrett Hammond, and I've been sent here
Oh. He's on the list.
to help you, I think.
Hi, Barrett. We know you. We don't know you, but we know your name.
You do know me.
How do we know you?
Come with me, I'll explain on the way.
Is that the only way? Okay.
And he turns around and begins to walk away. That's where we'll take our first break.
That came by too quick.
Oh, that means it's time for the giveaway.
Oh my God, it's the
time
giveaway.
for the giveaway. So, what do you have to do to win the giveaway? People, listen closely. Super complicated. I'm going to say a word. And then, when we go to break, you have to use the digits and you type that word. And
Whoa.
then from those, wait, get me.
Whoa.
From those that type the word, we pick one of those people and they win.
Whoa. Randomly we pick?
Correct.
Well,
I mean, you know, we could pick our favorites, but we do pick them randomly. Let the dice decide. So,
let the dolls dice.
we
follow
are
where
giving
they
away a
Bam!
That
boom,
guy.
Dragon Heist Icons of the Realms mini booster. And in addition to that, if you don't win that, which would be cool if you did, but if you don't,
Yeah, I'm psyched if you win it.
right. But
I'm
if
psyched
you,
if you-
don't,
Enter.
Try.
right, yes. We're also giving away another subscription tonight as part of our September event with Twitch. So that means the subscription is on us, but if you want to renew, support our stream, continue to try and help us do the things we do, you can renew that for $1.
One
Boom.
single.
Just one.
So
as the
we will give that to
older
you
adults that feel
You
like
can
they're
give
funny,
to us
one doll hair.
for a doll hair. That's
Uno
correct.
doll hairs.
So tonight's code word is going to be shadow. Please type the word shadow in the chat.
Only once.
Only Uno time.
Only enter one time.
Uno doll hair.
Pretty sure we had a cat once named Shadow.
That's a thing. Yeah, we did actually. I think,
Yeah.
So, keyword is shadow. And in about 15 minutes, we'll be right back. We'll announce the winners.
Yeah.
Please
Prizes.
stick around. We're going to get into some Shadowfell craziness now that, you know
We're
what?
in the
Now
Shadow.
that
I
we're
got
here.
surprises. So, stick
You
around.
don't know
Stay
me.
tuned. We will be right back.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello, party people.
Where you at? When we wrap.
We are back. We are ready to get into some more stuff. But before we do, let's announce some winners.
Yeah.
Multiple winners.
2 at least.
Yes. And also at most, in the most immediate of senses. So, this collector's edition prize.
It's not a collector's edition.
Gold-plated.
Well, yes, gold-plated.
It's not. Okay.
Not
It's
meant for
either-
€0.
Not
Yes.
either of those.
The Icons of the Realm Dragon Heist Mini Booster Pack is going to go to Mr. Foster423.
Oh!
Congratulations, Foster423.
Do you think that
Sounds heavy.
he knows Mr. Dank Perp 420?
It's possible. I think there's clearly an established kinship. I'm sure there's 422 Fosters that he's also in relation to.
Dank Perp
Probably.
420, Foster 423.
Probably
like,
cousins.
There's probably
Yeah.
something of 421 and a 422.
So, Foster423, congratulations on your win of some D&D minis. Please get in contact with us via DM on our Twitch channel here, or if you prefer, you can contact us on our Facebook page, available in the panels below, should you be so inclined. So, please get us your detailed information. We'll make sure those get sent out to you. And
yeah.
for our
Congrats.
free subscription, we are awarding a free subscription to Victim of Gravity.
Oh!
Should you be so inclined, you can of course renew that for a mere $1
$1.
to support the stream and have fun with us some more.
That was good.
Yeah, also to make it extremely clear, you can't pay for anything with literal doll hairs, so don't do that.
Yes, I don't
No.
think we have a machine for that. But with that being said now, also this is an excellent opportunity if you did not win this time to increase your... No, that would be decrease. To decrease your odds of winning next week,
That sounds negative, though.
don't worry about it. To share with your friends, you can give the exact same gift to other people that you want to offer that subscription. They can also then renew for only $1. So if you have someone you want to turn on to that, you can do that as well. Please continue to share the stream, continue to support. We've really appreciated that. So congratulations to our winners. And with that out of the way, let us... I just did the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire
I know.
thing.
And then she was Wayne's Worlding it.
Yeah. So,
my magical items?
I don't. I do not have your magical
Alright,
items.
so everyone needs to take a look at that.
You
I don't
pulled
have
the
your stuff
disintegrate magical items card.
I
That's
take
what
my
happened.
shit home with me.
I leave my shit here.
All right.
Well,
So
got eaten by the table months.
we
And
will
it's not in the box.
figure that out.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
There's like just
Dice are in the box!
most
All right.
ridiculous.
Bringing it back in.
Best
Okay.
box ever.
Bringing it back in. After arriving in the Shadowfell, the group sought to chase down and identify the closest suitable semblance of maybe some form of existence and move towards a large earthen cliff face that appeared to be drastically escalated from the surrounding broken landscape. Upon approaching the rock face, discovered that there were the trapped bodies of individuals in various states of decay that were trapped within this rock face and reached out desperately for unknown reasons, motivations, or anything that could really be related to by the party. In attempting to discern whether or not these creatures were illusionary in nature, Sproigins grabbed a handful of the shaly earth from below to discover a moving finger in it as well. And deciding not to mess with that kind of gross anymore, turned into their polymorphed and druid wild-shaped into flying forms that saw them to the edge of the cliff, landing on the top, where they were greeted by a robed individual who identified himself as Barrett Hammond, a name known only to the group through a letter recently collected from Darn Elowin's house in an unknown relation, it would seem at the moment, offering the group some kind of aid. Requesting that the group come with him, he turned around and began to walk away. He shuffles slowly and softly, seems to have a very small gait, but is coyly and very much old manly kind of walking, but does so in an elegant and dexterous kind of way, but does not seem to have any sense of urgency to his movement, and is continuing to walk towards what you now see as a large cityscape of sorts that is approximately half a mile off the edge of the cliff face. It seems to run the perimeter of the edging you're able to see on this elevated platform of land in what might be this large circular city made of black and gray stone, drab, dry features. And there's dancing color barely that you can sort of make out that seems to resemble fire. And as you fix your vision and gaze on it, it appears as if there are some buildings as part of this jagged silhouette of structures you can see that are just engulfed in flame. Very sporadic and only occasional, but these dark towers appear dimly lit from the interior, but at this distance you can't really make anything out. And this older individual, identifying himself as Barrett Hand, begins to walk that direction. What happens next?
I'm gonna follow.
Yeah, we're gonna follow.
Come on, bud. Gonna follow hand on
His
the
thoughts?
Yeah.
Can you read his thoughts?
resting on the.
All right. So you're all walking, and it seems as if, compared to before, especially so, each step you take brings you a step closer. It appears as if the spatial distortion that you had experienced previously, trying to get just to the rock face, is either dissipated or seems to not be affecting you in as drastic a way. And as you continue to move towards this overall cityscape, you see the ground give way, and what little brownish tinged green grass there is on the ground gives way to just pure dirt. And the dirt eventually turns into stone as you are approaching a walkway that appears to be some kind of street or some rudimentary function thereof. But even from what you can see at this distance, it appears as if these streets wind and twist. And whatever city this is itself almost seems to groan as it twists and folds in on itself, with buildings that are tilted and structures that appear to be misshapen and stacked on one another, destroyed and stacked on the ruins, destroyed and stacked on the ruins.
Are we seeing any other forms yet? Like people?
Make a
or-
perception check.
Yeah, I think before we would have got
25.
25. As you are approaching and now specifically looking, caught up in the grandeur of the city in its drab form just as well, see that outside there are these two massive pillars that form kind of a rudimentary portcullis that's probably about 30 feet high, but there's no actual barred wall in the portcullis.
Okay.
And it appears as if maybe walls would have surrounded the city at some point, but it's just these two pillars that remain, as you can kind of identify crumbled ruins on either side of these pillars. Attached to these pillars, from huge metal bracket rings, there appear to be these gray, ashy forms, humanoid in nature, collared around the neck, chained to these rings, and they're just kind of leaning out like a dog jumping on a leash. You see shambling movement through some of the streets, and you can kind of tell through some of the broken gaps in some of the structures there are humanoid forms in there. But the closest ones to you are 6 of these creatures on these collared chains that are just sort of leaning Michael Jackson style forward against the weight of these brackets around their neck.
Hammond, is this your doing?
No. They're mostly here for show, don't worry. He just continues to kind of turn back and keep walking.
Hammond, how did you know that we were here?
Turns back, looks over his shoulder, and we'll cover all of it, I promise you. On we are. And he kind of keeps going. He almost seems like he's trying to pick up the pace a little bit, but still has this sort of methodical movement speed to him. And you guys eventually reach the pillared area where this main central structure is, and these creatures reach out at you. Mind your arms. Mind your arms. And as he walks through, they kind of like reach, and you see the fingers like brush across, try to claw at his clothing, but he just continues to calmly just walk straight through.
I'm definitely gonna still be like elbows
Just
are in,
bunched up.
elbows are in, but I'm
Yeah.
still playing some stuff nervously.
Okay.
I'm not trying.
You all following as well?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm following. I'm just gonna check and
Yeah.
make sure Is is behind me. I'm gonna tell him come behind me, not next to me.
Okay.
And I'll follow Is.
Okay. So as you all walk through, you all feel the grasping claw. A finger hooks into your armor, but like isn't close enough. It seems as if they are fighting against these chains, desperately trying to reach. And as you get a quick look, their whole face is just this gray, pale mesh. Their eyes are completely white, but not pure and clean. It is covered and coated in this glaze of gray that's devoid of any kind of recognition, and they're just reaching out at each one of you as you pass. As one of you passes, the closest one in the chain tries to follow until you start gaining distance, and immediately snaps back to try and gain the next one walking through, and you're all just barely out of their grasp, it seems. As Is is going through, form being much wider, they begin to actually hook and grab onto some of his thorny sides. And you turn back and see that 3 of these creatures are now engulfed in flame. But still, just seemingly unaware that they're even on fire, reaching out to him.
Ooh, totally.
Bites at one of their legs and is kind of getting into a tussle and fight with these creatures.
Hey, bud. Is
Seems to be ignoring you, continuing to...
I'll help him and I'll
I'm gonna turn around.
do a chop on their heads.
I'll go up to him and or like in mass kind of thing, and I'll grab my little symbol and I'll say "Be gone." And
Okay.
so I'll do turn undead.
Okay, so as Walker realizes what's happening, takes a step back, clutching his symbol that he had made for him, you see this light sort of emanate out from this central symbol. The head of a lion sort of emerging behind this symbol lets out kind of this subtle, and this sort of transparent fog of arcane energy seems to wash over these creatures. And they seem to coil and wind up in pain and kind of hug the pillar that they're attached to. One of them falls over and strangling himself under his own weight. And it seems as if the seas part for the moment and is kind of begins to turn and walk back.
I'm gonna pet him. Did they hurt you at all?
Yeah, you fought him off, buddy.
You did real good. Good job.
And begins kind of
War is
hulking
gone.
forward.
What
All
is
right.
that?
Pillar of War.
I mean, you still have it though.
I can't remember everything on there, but
All right, so the
So you get blown under the floor.
Probably a good call.
so you guys are still continuing to follow Barrett, and as he is walking through and kind of twisting around the streets, you're seeing that there are a number of what you would maybe describe as storefronts or homes or things of that nature that also seem to have like creatures chained up out in front, almost like a posting of sorts. You see one that's just this amorphous blob, and the arms sort of bleed into the torso that bleeds into the legs, and it's this oozy, pus-like humanoid creature whose head still appears to be primarily intact. Devoid of any color, this appears to be some kind of half-orc type creature, but the body is now this messy form of parts and kind of moves towards you, and the whole leg sort of folds underneath him as he falls and stumbles. You just continue to walk by a number of other shackled creatures kind of paying you attention until finally Barrett turns around. Oh, we have arrived. Please?
Thanks, Shinar.
And he opens this big wooden door. Please, come in, come in. And as you go inside, it is wooden, but the wood is dark black, but not painted. It is the darkest oaky sort of lacquer on everything. There is bits of like this tarry string that kind of goes around the edging of the walls, and inside there are two faintly burning torches that sort of rest above a table in a very small room that appears to be maybe both living area and dining room or something to that effect. It's difficult to say. And he pulls out a chair. I don't have enough chairs for everyone, but I'll sit if you don't mind.
I don't think we mind.
I don't think we would mind some answers either.
Walker, do you want to set up your alarm on the door?
I thought about that, but then I'd probably just get a million pings.
It's okay.
Isn't
They
it
don't
only
know
when
you're
they-
here yet.
Who doesn't
Yet?
know we're here yet?
Oh.
Let me rewind. My name is Barrett Hammond, but I am also known as Grindala.
Grindala.
Has anyone heard that name before?
Does that sound familiar?
This would not be a name that you have heard.
Okay.
Okay.
I was first told about you all at the tail end of the War for the Nine Plains.
Wasn't that like,
I'll assume y'all know about that.
well, the War for the Nine Plains is that like book that I was reading, but that was like millennia ago?
It's difficult to keep track in this place. A couple thousand years, perhaps.
Okay.
He just kind of seems almost reminiscent, but thinking very hard, trying to concentrate.
So, Grindal, you're telling us that you're 1,000 years old?
Grindala.
Grindala.
Probably closer to 5.
Sure.
How long have you been in the Shadowfell?
Since near the end of the Nine Plains War.
Were you here when it was called the Gloryfell?
Yes. I am former Solar to my Lord God Tirok. Sent here because I believe I saw this coming. I do not know if any other Solars are left, but I had to stay to honor the requests of my patron.
There are Solars left.
You know of Solars that exist still?
Mm-hmm. We've met them.
Cast Detect Good and Evil.
You do not get a reading.
Shit.
Barrett,
Yeah, we know of them. We've
Yeah.
met. We've
Duval's
met
one, right? Or is he?
Duvalania.
Yep.
I was asking Jones.
Does he walk the material plane?
We don't know their locations. We've just run into him. And have apparently met a couple others per a conversation we had with Duval.
There may be hope yet.
Or
The war for the Nine Plains is not over.
We know.
Barrett, why don't you tell us what we need to know?
At the end of the Nine Plains War, many deities and their solar guards were killed. Some escaped. Some went missing. But in the end, I know we were able to trap Vesero in the Plain of Noon. But not before he corrupted our champions. He broke the Guardians of the Line.
Who are they?
There were many. Most of them killed. Many forgotten. I'd like to think some lived to die of old age with happy families and full stomachs. But sensing the tide was shifting, we had to make a decision and invoke great sacrifice. He was locked away. But the Plain of Nun spilled as part of the process,
Spilled?
contaminating the other plains.
Is that why this is no longer the Glory Fell?
Yes. It is what put evil in the hearts of good men on the material plane. It is what twisted the minds of lesser deities on the ethereal plane. It is what gave rise and strength to the evil and wickedness of dragons on the elemental planes. It was the beginning of all things coming down, and now that war is coming to an end. It gave strength to our enemy, and they harbored that strength in secret. The only glimpse I was able to witness was you all coming here in the footsteps of those guardians before you.
Have you met any other travelers in the past?
Yes.
One that looked kind of like her?
Only a guy?
Possibly one that maybe looked like me?
I would not be so devoid of company in this place to not at least converse with the guardians of the line when they come to visit. And I am fortunate, for twice in as many thousand years I am granted the same opportunity again. Forgive me.
Are you wounded?
As the soulless patron is killed, their energy is drained.
I just think he's old.
A solar without a patron deity begins to wither. And in a place that is meant to corrupt the mind and body, this happens much faster.
Can you have a new patron? I mean, like, I didn't think so, but...
It takes a great deal out of a deity to create such a solar. They must remove part of themselves and bestow it into a blessed vessel. A deity is not likely to open itself to the weakness of doing so a second time.
What do you think would happen to you if you left this place?
I cannot leave this place.
Why?
Cannot or won't.
It is my duty to be here for my Lord God Tirok, and I will not shirk my responsibilities.
What are the responsibilities he gave you?
I remain dedicated to seeing the Guardians finish this war. And as long as it shall rage, I shall be here.
Are there any Guardians that weren't turned?
I do not know. This happened behind veiled shadow and in places even I cannot see.
Do you know who was turned? Other than
Some
Melinda, Carl, Petir, and Edvara. Udikbal was a demon.
Drastar,
What
a
was that?
champion of war. He's a great warrior who united the beast clans to fight on our side. I know he fell because he had ambition in his heart.
Maybe that was Udikbal. Do you know what became of him? Was he a Minotaur, or what are the beast clans?
What is important is it seems as if, in some form or function, Padilla has come back home.
How do you know that's Petir?
Because I've heard the Queen call to him.
She's queen now.
Am I still king? Because that's kind of weird then.
I mean, like, technically you probably died.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
fair.
what do you know what happened to Petir?
Him and his sister fought alongside each other. Leaders of the Gloryfell's Golden Army. Incredible. Incredible. Padilla, he taught many blade dancers how to spin, taught them how to wield. And they were incredibly skilled, but the powers were aligned against us, and his sister was poisoned. Extremely rare, not of this plane. It's called Fey Whisper.
What? Who did I make a deal with?
You should understand we do not judge you. It is not our place to decide. It is not our place to direct. It is not our place to intervene. We are here as tools, vessels, a compass in a nameless world, that is all. I have never known what it is to have a family, nor has any solo. And I would not understand the motivations.
We know a solar that knows what it's like to have a family.
Adopted, though, maybe.
Yeah, still a family nonetheless.
I've been in here a long time, it would seem. Your sister was dying, and we had no magic that could save her.
Did that deal doom the Gloryfell? Or was it my death? What happened? Why did this place become something that it wasn't before?
You do not look like her now. What is your curse?
I don't know.
The Guardians were not just turned, they were tricked. Promised a great many things, and bestowed with much power, but cursed.
Well, then I guess it would be...
The curse placed on your sister oozed from her every pore, twisted her mind, broke her. The people had hope for Gloryfell still, knowing she lived. No one knew where you went. No one knew what had happened to you, but were happy to feel that the war for the 9 planes had ended and that our princess had come home. But it was not her. And you are clearly not you. she began to corrupt this place on accident, and it was not long after she began to corrupt it on purpose. The gold and glory of this place turned to ash. The bountiful food and harvest turned to rocks in the mouths of the people. And when the children began to die, they continued to play in the streets.
An aspect of these lands, or a curse as well?
Her curse was simply spread. She is cursed to live forever, and it seems now everyone here is affected the same way.
Can it be undone?
It's possible. There is a complication, and I'm not able to deal with it. I'm far too weak. I can see through history still. I can read lies and intent. Should I have the absolute need, I can wield a sword, and maybe even move quickly if the occasion calls for it. But I am in no shape to fight such power.
Do you think there's a part of Advara that still exists, that's from her original self?
She calls to you still. I can see it. Her soul is locked away, fended off by the powerful shell she now inhabits.
We'll figure it out. She can be saved.
I mean, I think she would want to be saved.
Her soul is currently
dead.
possessed.
Possessed by the Fey Whisperer?
No,
Possessed by what?
a creature she built. Meant to keep her from such heroic efforts. I did try to fight it back when I had some of my strength still. But even then, I was not enough.
What is it?
The Harbor of Shadows.
Is she a powerful magic user, or is she a blade dancer as well?
She's had 2,000 years of study. She is good at both. And the Harbor of Souls, I believe, is the key to her freedom, but her shell will resist such attempts, I imagine.
Where does Advara's physical form reside?
She sits on a throne of death over the Zandian fields. The Zandian fields used to be a staging area for the Gloryfell to defend itself and for its armies to assemble. And we now, here in the broken mire, are separated by the flesh forest.
The flesh forest?
The battlefields were soaked in blood and bodies, and over the years her corruption continued to support the undead that were in the area, but the terrain continued to grow. The features there now are that of a living forest with no sense of motivation, made from the death and decay of those who fought for this glorious place before. If you return her soul to her body, if you weaken her form enough to allow Advara a chance to power through, we may replace the Queen of Shadows with your real sister. But you must collect it from the Soul Harbor first. An undead construct the likes of which I have never seen, even with visions beyond the planes and throughout history. I have no soul to concern myself with, but should you attempt to face it, you may lose your own.
He like sucks your soul out of your body.
He is both prison and guardian of souls.
Where is this? Where is this construct? We can go there right now.
I want to rest before we actually fight him. And
we
Where is this construct?
He resides in the pitfalls.
How far is that from here? Which direction?
Padir, I understand your motivations. I think I do. This is no creature to be slain. This is no beast to be stabbed. This is incarnation of cursed magic. You could be lost forever.
What does that mean to be lost forever with the construct?
I assume soul ripped out of body.
Well, could be as bad as Arvara.
Somehow I doubt you would remain as strong.
We just had Padir's curse that he has to live with is he dies and wakes up a new person and doesn't know anything about his prior lives. So the prior form before the one standing in front of you was known as Avalonia, who was
I know.
stated to have been lost.
I have seen your form many times. Here in this place. Sometimes it has been more you than others. Look, I'm very sorry. I hope you understand, but this has taken a great deal out of me.
I understand.
You're welcome to stay here for a time. I know it is small, but you are, of course, welcome to remain safe under my roof with whatever precautions you deem necessary. I'm afraid I must rest for the moment. Go on.
Do you have any food?
No,
Do you not eat?
nobody here does.
I don't need to.
And he stands up and he begins to kind of get onto his feet again, but he still gets to a fully upright pose, a very resolute stance. Guardians, be blessed. I will address you when I have more strength. And he walks out of the room, curves around, and you hear him taking ginger steps up creaky wooden stairs. The footsteps continue on for what sound like several paces before you hear some slight scraping of feet and then a silence.
You had to take his slippers off. Fuck.
This is so heavy. He didn't tell us where the pitfalls were, though.
Yeah.
I have a
noticed
feeling we
that.
have something that will tell us where the pitfalls are, though. I'll pull this out.
I don't.
Does he
It
have a-
appears slightly brighter still, but still just the very tip illuminated.
So
does he
save
have
your
a
sister?
library at all?
There, in the room you're in, there's a wooden table. There are two bookshelves, both Bookshelves seem to have a candle holder. Candle completely burned down, and basically the wick and a 1/4 inch of wax remains. The bookshelves are empty. There are chairs. There's a open room, probably maybe 9 by 9 feet. It's pretty cramped. There's no decorations. This place is empty. He has one chair, a table, the bookshelves in one room, chair in the other. And that is it. You could go upstairs should you be inclined, but that's all you see in this floor.
I assume upstairs is going to be exactly the same.
Like, does he live like a minimalist life where he just doesn't have things, or is it because everything is dead here?
I would assume it's because everything is dead. At some point when it was dying, people needed to use things to make fires, and
It's really besides the point, right? Like,
What?
we have information now.
Mm-hmm.
We can act.
Well, we don't know which direction to go,
It's
but
true.
we can make a plan at least. Has anybody heard of this shadow thingy before? Harbor of Shadows?
Harbor of Souls.
Same difference.
What is it?
Harbor of Shadows, I thought.
Harbor of Shadows, Dan?
Harbor of Souls, sorry. It's Harbor of Souls. If I
Okay.
said shadows, I'm sorry. It's Harbor of Souls.
Harbor of Souls.
Which makes sense because it.
Hold souls.
Yeah.
Yep.
So is this going to be something that we like steal from? Or is it something we're going to have to kill, and then once we kill it, like releases a bunch of souls, like
That's
some
kind of what,
weird dandelion thing?
I mean, Avalonia's soul might be in there. I don't know what that's going to do if yeah, but just because of
His memories might be in there, but
Like I said, I think it was to the group. Maybe it was just to you, Sproigins. But like I said, I get the feeling that each new life starts from my journey to the Shadowfell,
Oh, I'm almost positive that's true.
and I believe that it's this construct that probably starts that whole process.
well, you're not going to be lost.
I don't think we have a say in that.
heck yeah, we
yeah,
do.
we do.
We got you, boo. We'll fucking murder that thing.
I mean, no offense to you, but your dad couldn't do it. My dad couldn't do it. Your dad couldn't do it. You couldn't do it.
No,
I
Avalonia
think
couldn't
we
do
can
it.
do it.
This is obviously the factor that wasn't involved
Right.
previously.
We are now 5.
I think we can do it. We have to have a say in whether or not he's lost or not.
That's not exactly how I mean it. I mean it. One, it's up to Walker what he wants to do here, not us.
Yeah. I mean, it seems pretty clear Walker wants to go now.
Save the princess.
Where is it?
Yeah. I mean,
Save her.
Yes. Why wouldn't we?
I mean, I would like to see.
Let's
I don't
actually
know-
save someone for an instance.
I mean, we've already saved a bunch of people.
We've also killed a whole lot of people, so I'm totally cool with
We
saving
killed
somebody.
Sproigins' mom.
The one person I know, let's save them.
Yeah.
In the vision that I have, that Walker now has, the Gloryfell looked pretty beautiful.
Well, and here's the other part. We may be able to not only save my sister, but right a number of wrongs and create some more balance in the world.
And plus, it might stop a lot of this undead stuff with me and my lady are totally cool with.
Look,
And like all of these souls right now seem trapped. I think that's their whole thing. And if we can defeat this guy and it saves this whole plane worth of souls, we have to try.
Yeah.
At least like maybe we can look at some of the books we have. We still have Letus's book. I don't know if we've read any more of that, but
No, I'm the only one that can read it.
What? Oh.
His
Oh, yeah,
celestial
yeah, yeah.
book.
Not
'Cause
not
we haven't-
his other book, yeah.
No,
Okay.
not his. What is that book?
Well,
The,
he's
like-
got
The book on human decency.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
he's got the origins of Moradin.
Well, yeah, but then he had the
Which
like
I've been
how to
reading.
talk to people.
Manuals on socializing and fighting.
yeah.
Yep.
No, I mean the celestial written book that.
Yeah, I mean, I can go through. I can definitely read as much as I can.
Well, I have the Helm of Deeper Understanding.
Yeah, but I have a spell. So I mean, you could read if you would like.
I don't ever use it.
Would you like to
Well, you
use it?
both could do it because isn't it only like a few minutes?
The helm is only 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And what's the spell?
Oh, like an hour.
Ah.
I could just poke over your shoulder so I could read. You could read the first page and I could read the second page and we could get a lot further.
That's not.
Okay.
Are we gonna double hack?
Oh, gee, you could have used the helm for the rock.
What rock?
In your, when
In your vision.
yeah, in your vision
The
when your
rock.
sister.
Oh.
I didn't
I was
know who
under
had
control.
Are you
That's
attuned to it though?
You know, to be honest with you, I don't know if I've ever actually put it on.
I think-
Yeah.
it. I think
Fine.
somebody who has Letus's helm,
I have it.
don't wreck it.
Yeah, that's. Have you seen?
Well,
Have you
I
seen
his
this at
armor.
all since we've
Okay.
gotten here?
What?
I mean, maybe that's good.
Why would you have seen him?
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I miss him and I like see him places. Like people walk by and they look like him and I'm like, ah, remember when I was telling you that that guy walked by and I was like, I could have sworn that was Letus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
Yeah,
happens
so
every now and
it's-
again, so.
That's
Okay.
not- yeah.
No, I haven't
I miss
seen
him
any of the
too.
zombie
Yeah,
people
no, it's-
looking like Letus.
Okay. I mean, that would be weird if she did.
Right.
Because I mean, why would this place remind her of Letus?
Yeah,
Because
you-
this is like
Well,
the
I mean-
opposite of Letus.
Yeah, Letus was
But
like
it's a
a
different-
golden,
Yeah, flower
Sweet.
budding in the
Yeah.
just
the best.
He's about to describe sweat dewy forehead.
He was like,
Thick Bay Letus.
Yeah.
do you
All right,
see?
so, like, I mean, are we gonna go to? We're gonna go to sleep and then go.
We
try
need
to
to
find the
research this
pitfalls?
guy. We need to see if anything that we have has any information on this dude
On Hammond?
on Harbor of Souls.
I'm gonna peek
We're
out
going to the
door
Harbor
and
of
see if
Souls. We're
there's
gonna
anybody
kick his ass and we're gonna get the souls out of him.
around or-
And then we're gonna go to Advara's corpse.
Make a
We're
perception
gonna
check.
beat her up until real Advara can be like in her body again. And it's gonna go perfectly fine.
25.
25. You see the same chained up creatures, and you seem to, again, the roads are all curving, and you hear kind of a rhythmic clanging like footsteps that appear to be the jostling of shifting plate armor that you've sort of come to know from your time in the cities. And this figure seems to be heading down the middle of the street. Jet black armor that you can only tell is metal simply based on the glistening that it exhibits. A cloak that appears to wave like smoke behind him. A perfectly round steel face helmet. And you're only able to barely kind of glimpse in as he breaks the plane of the corner. Just not black in color, a void within the helmet, and the only reason you're able to discern it is because there's two red glowing eyes as he seems to be walking down the center of the street.
Quickly close the door and then explain what I saw. Is it like coming towards us?
It's just walking down the street to, he would theoretically cross the threshold, but
Okay. Just get. There's like a walking fucking armor thing. It's gonna walk by the house. If you
Do we have windows?
no. Right as Sproigins finishes explaining it to you, you begin to hear that seems to bypass the house and seems to be walking on.
As it's passing, Eyes of the Grave. Magically detect undead 60 feet.
You also still pick up pings, yes.
That's right.
Sounds
I mean, the
like it.
clanging went away.
Okay. So, just flip through my dad's journal.
But
The
do I
last-
get to know if he marked as undead? Says you get to know the location of any undead within 60 feet of you.
Sweet.
So I would
no walls or
get to-
barriers stop it.
That isn't behind total cover, and that isn't protected from divination magic.
Yeah, I'm going to say that the full and solid wall prohibiting any kind of sight is considered full cover.
Okay.
So,
Good to know.
this didn't really make sense before, but this is starting to make sense now in my dad's journal. It says we are meant to meet her in 2 days. And I'm assuming that's your sister. And then right after that is when all the pages are ripped out.
I wonder if they went straight for Edvar's body and not her soul.
But they said meet her, not get her or see her or meet. Like she's.
Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe they thought
MEAT.
It is spelled EET, but it is also in Druid.
I know how it's spelled.
What?
They don't have a word for meat.
What is before that?
A lot.
Well, just like synopsis of like what's.
Did
That-
they have Avalonia at that time?
Yeah.
Yeah, what was going on right before they were going to see her?
It just talks about, like, I feel like we're getting close now. Like, everyone's kind of starting to go a little bit crazy. And your dad did the same thing you did and was just playing songs to make everyone feel better. And your dad's fought a lot.
sounds about right.
And then you started to get really quiet. And then my dad said that he thought we were starting to get close. Your dad was able to recognize the planar effect taking hold and cast spells of protection to shield our minds. And they seem to be working,
Okay.
but we want to leave as soon as possible. And then we are meant to meet her in 2 days, and then nothing. The pages are ripped.
And that's the end of your father's journal? Or
No.
where does it pick up?
And then it says, I worry for Avalonia. Ever since yesterday and the events 2 days before, he seems to be acting very strange. The events from yesterday leave much to be worried about, and should his savagery continue to grow, I'm concerned about his temperament within the group. Should we make it out of here alive, I have no doubt we will be regretting some of our words and actions, but Avalonia may have more to consider than the rest of us.
Okay.
My heart breaks. He is lost to us.
Here's, I think, a couple of things that are. I've already noted that you need to be guarded against me. The second thing is that we need to move quickly while we're on this plane.
Okay. I'm cool with that.
Understanding the nature of what they've experienced and what they've told us, I think we need to move as quickly as possible. If you need to rest, let's rest, but I think that'll cause harm in terms of we will have things to battle in our sleep, and then we will also lose that time. So, but I'm
Do you think it would be affecting us as much if we're in the mansion? Because I know she can reach, but she's strong.
I'm gonna go upstairs to like Barrett's room and see if he's asleep.
Okay, he is lying on a stone slab that appears to be elevated off the ground by maybe about 6 inches. But otherwise, it is a 7 or so foot long, 6 inch thick slab of stone on the ground, sort of just barely differentiated from a floor.
Yeah.
And you kind of are able to peek in, and you see him there. He has his arms crossed, and he appears to just be.
Before I bother him, I want to use the necklace to see if I can hear his thoughts.
You actually begin to hear sort of like a whispering chaos. And it kind of jumps into your mind, and then all of a sudden you feel like a barrier of some kind of mental blockage bounce back, and you're not able to actually pick up on anything.
Alright. Barrett? Sorry to disturb you. You don't need to get up. So I think we're probably gonna get out of here pretty soon and go rescue the souls and save this.
He kind of
plane.
starts rolling off and.
No! Don't put your slippers on and shit. Just stay there.
I only need a few hours.
No, you're. It's been like 20 minutes. You're good. I just need to know where the pitfalls are. So if you can just like look like. Explain where the pitfalls are. I'll let you go back to your sleep.
The arena, it was a place for games and festivals back when the Gloryfell was still pure of heart. There would be games and entertainment and battles of skill and might. There was a grand arena there where shows of combat were put on, and never for the intent to hurt, of course. Just sport. In those ages, soldiers wanted one another to get better, to improve, to better represent the glory. After your sister, oh, that's right, you're not, sorry. After Advar was changed, it became a place of death. Unwilling combatants forced to kill one another in the most brutal of elements. And when this place ran out of warriors worth fighting, she would feed its souls there. Through the flesh forest, down the darkness path before the Zandian fields. This is the last bit I have on me, and if you intend to leave, I feel this is the last thing I have to give to the Guardians. And he pulls out a small purplish gray stone that appears to be smoking and sort of giving off a similar aura to the stone that Walker was given by Duvalenia. Are you sure you want to do this?
I mean, we have to.
Should he prove too much for you? This will bring you all back here. But it will only work once.
Okay. Well, I'll bring it back to you.
I should hope you are right. I have not seen beyond this point.
Thank you.
I would like to see light in the Broken Mire once again.
And we would too.
I hope Padilla has finally returned. For good, this time.
I think he has. Thank you again.
You are Spillion's son, are you not? Sproigins.
Yeah.
I have seen many come close, and I know not what draws the Guardians here. And I have seen many failures. By the name of Turok, I will do all I can to help the Guardians succeed, and I would ask a favor of you in return.
Sure.
Simple ask. I promise.
Okay. Never been good at those in the past, but I would like to. I've been trying to make good on promises I've given.
Guardians are always holders of their word, and I trust in this instance you will be no different. Should Padir be broken, and the position arise, you must kill her.
Yeah, I think we know that. I promise.
Sproigins, Talos, son of Sproigins, a champion of people, and a spreader of chaos.
That's legit.
Keep a close eye on him. He will struggle to find meaning here as all do, but perhaps more than most. Tell Skadi her father watches still. And you see his eyes completely blank out for a moment. And make sure Hara is not lost to her history.
And he kind of falls back onto the stone slab.
I have given all I have.
Come on, old timer. And I'll put his feet up.
He kind of, a little less eloquently, a little less finesse to him, kind of just rolls onto the slab. Just sort of begins heaving for breath a little bit.
Yeah. Alright. Well, I'll go downstairs.
As you're kind of heading towards the door. Surprise!
What?
A guardian always holds true to a promise.
And he kind of fades out as if that was the last sort of drop of energy he had at the moment, and kind of goes back to just focusing and
Alright. So you go downstairs.
Is he okay?
Fuck. Yeah, he's fine. He's just old and fucking dying. He's just, like, super dying.
Should I like heal him a little bit, or?
It's not gonna work. It's not gonna matter. You're gonna give him a little. It doesn't. It's not gonna do anything.
Okay, what did you figure out where the...
Was it weird?
Yeah, it was like super weird.
Is it because he's old?
No, because I dealt with a ton of old people.
did he try and give you a hard candy?
A lot of old people have been in here. Are you getting a root beer barrel?
What does bedtime look like?
Why do you have so many Jolly Ranchers? Why are they all expired?
They're all stuck together. It's for the packaging. His room was like cold, it's like a jail cell.
Sounds like something.
It's like there's nothing up there.
Well, I
He's
mean,
sleeping on like he has no right, but he's no blankets. Like he just is literally existing.
like
And
a monk?
Yeah, but like like a dying old
Monk?
monk, like a hermit monk in jail.
Do we know anything about what was it, Drock?
I make a religion check.
Shit, sorry. So
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Yes. So you are not particularly learned in various religions. You are not particularly well versed, nor did you take time to really study or look into religions, but you are able to recall the name specifically This is a name you heard in the Hells at some point. It's difficult to know what to tie it to. You heard the name referenced in stories, generally tied to kind of the jovial throwaway lines maybe you heard from some members of the chain, associated with some kind of historical demon victory. Not really sure what he stood for, what he might represent. But you know you've heard it.
Cool.
So, I made a promise to him.
That's kind of weird. You just met.
What kind of promise?
He is not even like remotely charismatic whatsoever. But he's like the closest thing to a god. And he willed a promise out of me with his dying eyes.
Should
I
someone
need to learn that.
Is he dead?
No.
Well, you said he was dying.
Well,
Yeah,
he's dying.
He's dying.
Yeah, he's dying.
I mean, like,
I think that was him coughing.
Yeah, we know he's dying. All I'm saying is
Well, I mean,
he's
like, so are
very, he's very powerful. What?
everyone's dying.
But he's like,
What do you mean by
We're getting
that?
caught up in
Fucking
the wrong
A's.
messages.
Anyways,
Shut up.
so what did you
Stop
promise?
it. I made him a promise that if Walker turns, who he referenced as Padir, that we are supposed to kill him. If he becomes lost to us, we have to leave him here.
Don't worry, I just start the same quest over again.
Right. I think Walker knows that that's...
For the record, he was referencing Edvara.
Oh, well,
He
whatever.
said kill her.
Oh, well, then that's what I would have said.
So,
Sproigins would have got it correct.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's, I mean, that would be the plan if we can't stop her, if we can't bring her
Skadi?
back.
You're staring at me.
Yeah.
what is your intention with Edvara?
Well, it seems like she can be saved, so I'd like to save her.
What if we can't?
We can. Okay?
I also believe
I'll
that we
take that.
Let's go with plan A
Okay.
until plan A doesn't work.
Okay, are we resting before we jump into the
We can if you
Harbor of
want.
Souls?
I have some things
I
I
just-
could do to prepare.
So he told me how to get to the pitfalls.
Okay,
It's an actual arena that they use to hold like Golden Game style shit.
Oh, not what I imagined at all.
no, I was thinking like,
Like a pit.
Like a pit?
Yeah.
Well, I
Like-
mean, like if you think of an arena, like I mean, it
Yeah.
comes
Yeah.
to
Yeah, but no, I was talking like we go down there and there's like a cave and okay.
not.
creepier, not like a
Yeah.
arena.
Oh, it's
Not
fucking creepier.
You just said it was an arena where they have like the Golden Games.
Yeah, there's like some familiarity with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is what it used to be. Once all the warriors died, there was no more warriors to fight. Advara started feeding the pit souls.
Feeding the pit souls. So,
Feeding the Soul Harbor souls.
that's
Okay.
great. Cool.
I really gotta enunciate with Sproigins more as an old guy, I think, here.
There's a lot. Well,
It's a lot of information.
there's a lot of things that I'm.
Yeah.
I explained that to the group.
Yeah.
Also, hold on.
The Soul Harbor was referenced as residing in the pitfalls. The arena was Golden Games-esque until
Yeah.
people were forced to fight and kill each other.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay.
Right,
That's
we
what
heard
my
that.
notes
So
Okay.
what's
Basically nailed it.
what's
Yeah.
the next
Yeah.
word?
Brave Nichols.
Heels, I don't remember. Sproigins would remember what he said about you. That's like deeply impactful, but Jones does not.
Not to
Don't
be
let
lost
me get lost to my
her
family.
Yeah. So,
Or to my past.
Yeah.
deeply impactful words said to you.
Sweet.
Skadi, he said that your father still watches.
What? Like we were right about him being a Fey flower, or like he's watching us from on high?
I don't know. He's like super he's like a dying close to a god guy. He's very intimidating.
Got that promise though.
A lot of stuff.
Did you want to try doing your like magical research on the Harbor of Souls guy?
Like your commercial research?
I don't know if I have enough to bring to that to get a whole lot out of it.
What?
I mean, we
Well,
have quite a
wait.
bit, I think.
For the
Might as well try.
harbor.
I mean, if you write it down on a list, I would absolutely try.
Wait, for the harbor? Or is
Yeah,
that
the Harbor of Souls. So
what about the fact that there's probably previous souls of mine in there?
Yeah.
Or-
I mean,
Or I don't
probably.
know.
Or are you all the same soul?
Yeah, that's not worth it. The big question is: are we going to rest, or are we just going to go?
I say we head there, and then we rest when we get closer.
So, to get there, we got to go through the Finger Forest.
What? Oh, the Forest of Flesh grossness?
Yeah.
Don't
Towards
like it.
the Zandian Fields. You know,
Head home,
the Zandian Fields.
Home?
Zandian. That's where it all.
That's where her tower resides, right? Where she sits on the death, whatever.
Throne of Death,
Throne of Death.
in the former staging area for the Armies of Glory.
Yeah.
This all sounds great. It's gonna turn out well.
So I feel like if we gotta walk through a thing called a flesh forest, I'm gonna want to take a long ass nap.
Okay. Well, I don't think I can do this without you, so
Do you want to get close at least? Like, how far away is this flesh forest?
He didn't say.
finger forest.
The finger, whatever. It's gross. All of it's gross.
Finger. No, they're both gross.
It's all gross.
Loose finger
It's
forest.
like sushi straw.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
All right. Well, then we're camping.
Is there like
here.
I say we try to get as close to the gross forest as possible.
I mean, that's fine.
We have to make sure we don't run into that weird thing that you saw in the armor.
Well, can you be? Are you able to cast the mansion later?
Yeah.
Or okay.
Yeah, I can still do the mansion.
Yeah.
I mean,
As long
Skadi
as
and
we
I
still
can still
have a-
turn. We can turn into eagles and get up and see where. See if we can see.
Did we happen to see anything undead flying as we were traveling
I'm gonna say
about?
you didn't check and you didn't outright notice.
Okay.
I mean, we get to. I mean,
I say we try, because we rested not too long ago, like we had said. We have used some high up spells, so I don't think we should be fighting some weird soul monster. But I do think that we
Well,
should try to get as close as
The
possible
walk,
beforehand.
considering the time, like we were walking for a considerable amount of time, considering how slow we were moving.
Total
right?
travel was probably close to 5+ hours.
Yeah,
is this
so
just
we've
like
been-
the Fae? Like, there's no sun. Like, it just
just
is
gray.
It,
It
exists
is
the
a
entire,
perfect
like,
blanket of gray clouds, and it appears as if no matter where you guys were walking, there's this nice sort of illuminated halo that gives that sort of grayish blue tinge to everything. But that light does not seem to have a direct source. It does not seem to change. It is
we
this mask, dimly lit permanence where everything is on the edge of nightfall. Everything is still clearly visible as if it is being illuminated, but it is this, it's almost like dark light is kind of bathing the area, and it has that sort of nighttime tinge to it.
Yeah, but we're never gonna know what time it is. There's no day-night cycle. So I am absolutely okay with getting as close as we can. We just don't know where it is. Skadi and I we can figure out where it is. I just don't know if I want to walk through arms and legs before we get asleep.
I think we sleeps right before arms and legs.
That's fine.
We all good with traveling to the arms and legs?
Yeah.
Do we know
Or
which
maybe
direction
it's
this
tips and
arms and
butts.
Could be tips and butts.
I don't want to walk through a tips and butts forest.
No. Do we know what direction this is in?
I don't know any fucking directions whatsoever.
Well, I assume it's not where we came from, so maybe it's further up. He didn't say, like, go with
I
that.
thought we saw something in the distance that
He
was
was
like the forest.
Purposely
You saw what
obtuse.
appeared to be maybe.
We know where the forest is.
Hopefully that's the gross
The
flesh
finger forest.
Ugh, all of it. It's gross.
Like
The
earthworm
fleshy
jam.
finger forest.
All right, well,
sushi straw forest.
all right, well, shit. Well, all right.
Like
so-
the worst Candyland board game ever.
Let's do it.
All right,
Are we're going.
yeah, we're just gonna go then. We're gonna go to the forest.
Are we going stealth? Or are we?
Yes.
Yeah, I
With
would
that
say yeah,
thing
no.
walking around.
Are you gonna leave him out?
I mean, yeah.
Oh, give him the dad eyes.
It's gotta be more stealthy.
Okay, we're walking into target.
He's gonna do his best.
What do you guys
Okay.
want to do?
Door opens.
Okay.
Stealth.
Okay. Need a stealth check from everyone.
Pass without a trace. Now I'm gonna lead the pack,
Okay.
and if you'll allow me to, I'll do damage control whenever any zombies. I'll do turn undead whenever like anything starts to raise suspicion.
Okay.
I feel like this might be the first time that I completely disappear from you guys.
29?
Higher.
Oh.
30?
31, bitch.
Walker, what do you got?
31.
He's giving me a piggyback
Skadi?
ride.
I got an 18.
Okay.
That's
Hara?
plus the 10.
Oh no, I got a
Plus
28.
10. Plus 10.
28. Hara?
40.
And Is?
He got a 26.
You just disappear into some
Yeah,
sort of fog.
Sproigins breaks stealth going, I'm invisible! Turns around and Hara's
invisible,
gone,
bitch!
like doesn't know. Alright, well that's fine. Okay, sure. So, you guys, as best you're able, walk out the door, turn the direction you believe to be well, you're leading the pack here. Go ahead and make an intelligence check for me. Oh, we'll make it a survival check, actually.
I'm gonna keep my ear out for the,
Shifting, whatever.
Yeah.
22.
Okay, so you're leading the pack the direction you believe the forest to be. But right after you guys turn out of the street, you see a spectral form sort of see you walk. God damn it. Spare a coin. Spare a coin, please. Spare a coin.
I literally have no coins.
I give him a copper.
I hope that wasn't what's his
Thank
face,
you.
Copper.
You watch it drop through this bowl, hit the ground. Ding, 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 ding. Bless you. Bless
Here's
you.
another one.
Just ding, 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 ding.
Have a nice day. Let's go.
To rock, bless you all. Thank you. And kind of you see this spectral form, this greenish blue hue that you can see straight through, just kind of go skipping down the opposite direction you guys were walking. And you guys seem to remain relatively unnoticed. As you're walking by, there are a number of these various chained creatures and humanoids and variations of beast, and one you walk by is actually biting and chewing on its own arm and pulling flesh off. Looks up at you and just goes back to taking pieces of itself out. Another beast-type creature, kind of all fours. Looks like this demonic, twisted, burnt form that's got flaked, burning skin as if it was just freshly charred, kind of still cracking on its back. Kind of sniffs at you guys. But then just sort of steps back and watches you walk by. Now, what path would you like to take? Because the path that you believe to be most direct to the forest leads through the center of the city.
Mm-hmm.
But you feel, with your role, you could also probably manage a navigational path, sort of on the more periphery edge of the city, but it would take you longer.
Through the center.
Okay.
Everyone rolled well.
That is true.
I mean, I don't even see myself. I roll so well.
I'm right next to you.
So, for the next hour plus, dodging in and out of darkened alleys, avoiding the grasp of lurking creatures, you all seem to navigate through the city without issue, despite running into a number of humanoid-esque creatures, and are able to duck under cover with a ruined structure nearby, just as you heard the flapping of massive leather wings soar overhead. And as you covered up, you see this bat-like creature, but with a twisted and wagging tail behind it, like the mixture of a dog and a dragon and a bat, and way too big to be anything you'd seen on the material plane. Avoiding a run-in with a couple other ghosts that appear to be not as jovial or friendly with
This place.
the creature that you first encountered when leaving. You happen to time it in just such a way where you watch these two spectral forms enjoy and laugh and take in the moment as they torture one of these chained creatures outside of a building. But you remain undetected. And as you get closer to the center of the city, you are seeing what appear to be more fresh, perhaps. Difficult to discern without taking the time to investigate, and you've all been very mission-oriented moving through. Pinker flesh, more earthen tones, a hand devoid of any fingers, a lower jaw sitting in the middle of the street. And as you're walking through, trying to navigate through the center structure, you reach a massive open courtyard that appears to be some kind of communal space. Walker takes a step out. You see him stop. And almost with this burst of invisible arcane energy, flies backwards, knocking you all back into position. And you hear... And from the periphery of your view, you see this giant creature, similar to ones you've even seen and experienced before, but it has one arm missing, massive bone dangling out and exposed on one side. Its face seemingly melted, twisted, and decayed the other, sort of just dragging a huge wooden club that looks to be the remains of whatever large living tree the Shadowfell had left in it. Reaches down, and just with a tunk, you see it break loose this gray, ashy, sort of almost golem-like form attached to this building. And it bites down, removing the entire body just below the shoulders. Both arms fall to the ground, and you see the legs flail and kick before it.
On the thing that he pulled from the building?
Yep.
This old living gargoyle.
And then he continues to move on. It seems as if the rest of the pathway, as you continue to move towards the outer layer of the city, towards where you believe the flesh forest to be, you're able to avoid the majority of the remaining circumstances and issues that come up.
Thankfully, I rolled so high.
Find yourselves at the edge of a great cliff,
Oh, God.
approximately 2 miles high. What would you like to do?
Do we see the flesh forest?
Make a perception check.
I'd say like help, but you're what?
25.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. It's
glancing in the distance,
Right.
the white, sort of broken shale that makes up the terrain surrounding this open cliff face makes it relatively easy to discern where a tree line would be, but as you focus and dial in your eyes, you see that almost as if it's a perfect fall in southern Esterlin. The trees themselves appear to have a golden red hue at this distance.
Pumpkin spice, bitch.
But you do see what very much resembles a forest some great many miles in the distance.
And we're on top of a cliff, down cliff, and then below the cliff beyond is the flesh forest.
Is
Correct.
on like this downside of the cliff, are there more bodies?
Without having to work too hard, you all check and look and see, and there are in fact forms you can see moving. And
I think this is so
the
gross.
forest. We've already been going for a while. The forest is pretty far. I'm either feeling like we gotta.
Does the forest come to the cliff edge, or like if we made
no,
it
it
down
is
to
No,
you'd have to
it's-
go down and
Okay.
still go miles to get there.
Oh,
All right. I
It's-
mean, we can. I've got enough that.
why don't we fly down?
Right.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, like, I don't feel like we're gonna make it. Do I get the feeling like we could make it to the forest edge, like, in a normal day with how long we've been traveling?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's difficult to gauge for sure based on the discrepancy between your expectation and the reality of arriving to
Okay.
the Broken Mire. Make an intelligence check.
Well, that's not good.
See, we get down there, we do the mansion,
Ah.
because I just want to eat
It's a
something.
natural one.
I don't even give a fuck about having
Seems fine.
no meat. Like,
Like it's just a few miles, right?
Yeah, no, I think we could make it there.
Okay. I was gonna ask you about that. Can't your magic just populate more meat in there? Like, she got rid of it for one mansion, but is that forever? Can't you just repopulate meat?
You can't go.
Or is it
against
just
the
like
building.
in your head because she threw it out, it's just not there anymore?
I'm surprised any of it works to begin
Fair enough.
Perfect
I-
Sproigins answer.
I don't like.
Maybe just
when I
concentrate on,
when
like-
when I cast it, I will try to imagine what kind of foods
Okay.
will be in there.
We'll see if that works. Just make sure you
Chicken.
have some,
We're gonna need.
Yeah.
Good.
and then some non-meats for the veggie over
We're
here.
gonna need some good
I mean,
taco
yeah.
bar tonight.
Yeah, Walker's a taco bar guy.
Yeah.
Is that your favorite taco bar?
I feel like we do that before big events.
Or no, we usually do it after.
After. So
After
no,
mass genocide.
No Taco Bell. I mean, no.
Well, no Taco Bell.
I mean, I'm gonna get Taco Bell.
I mean, Hara could probably make a taco bell with her predecessor.
Prestidigitation.
Mm-hmm.
I prestidigitate
Taco?
a tiny Taco Bell, but it's just a bell that looks like a taco.
I'm not even going to begin to describe how that might potentially look.
Like a taco shell that has, like, I shake it this way like a cowbell.
I'm not going to talk about what. Nope.
So Hara
nope,
does that.
Nope.
Okay.
What is going on?
Taco bell.
Yeah. Well,
Does that Taco Bell bring all the
My
boys to the
sister's
yard?
dying. What are you doing?
You asked me to
Anybody-
make a Taco Bell.
You did ask her to make a
It
taco
disappears.
bell. All right, so
and you really
let's.
couldn't do that with prestidigitation anyway. But
I thought I could make a trinket.
yeah.
All right, you get in the necklace so we can eagle the f down
Go
there.
on a necklace.
Okay.
Yeah, I like to think that Walker just like jumped at Skadi's chest.
I pet.
Like, this is how it
I
works.
pet Is.
It's remember the conversation we had earlier? I'm talking to him.
Yeah.
First
Mhm.
roll.
What's the first rule of Is?
Don't eat blue elf.
No, that's the fourth rule.
Okay.
First rule is listen to who?
Fifth rule. Don't eat blue elf.
Okay, yep, sure, that can be the fifth rule. First rule.
7. First, 1. Pretend Hara is you.
No, no.
He turns.
I thought he had
I
regular
cast
voice.
polymorph into
No,
a
he
giant
can
She
hear.
can't understand
and I
him.
fly down.
You're so cute.
He can understand common, he can't speak it.
Oh, I thought he just did common now.
No.
First rule is you listen to mom.
Right. Yep. Uh-huh.
Second rule is if mom is not around,
Pretend you are Hera.
pretend Hera is mom.
Yep, that's why I said
It's all smart.
It's,
Sure.
it's smart.
It's smart.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go over these rules more later,
Sure.
but for right now, you're gonna get in the necklace and do rule number 2.
Pretend Blue Elf is you. Okay.
Faltor.
Okay.
And yeah, Faltor. All right.
And while we're in there,
Got like an intelligence of 5.
I know.
yeah.
Worst watchdog ever.
And while we're in there, I'm gonna pet him some more and give him a boar hoof.
Okay. He works. He's chewing on it, and you're in the necklaces. Oh yeah, you jumped
You're
at Skadi's
Yeah.
chest
You're such a good
before she was
boy.
even ready. Yeah. Voltor. Jesus.
Just like rubbing up
jumps
on
up
the body.
immediately.
Yeah. Okay, so
Just kind of sliding down you.
you guys jump off the edge, begin to soar down. You're moving through seemingly without issue and find yourselves on the shale below, unless you want to fly across the expanse.
Yeah, I think we would just kind of cruise.
If we're the same thing, can we speak?
Ooh.
Interesting. I think technically certain beasts or creatures would just have no language, but if you are the same creature, I will say sure, yeah, you can speak.
So we're gonna camp up just outside the grossness,
Because I can say that.
the pumpkin spice forest.
I don't give a shit about raw.
Yes.
Let's go. Okay, so we're gonna
Yes.
we'll go fly to the edge of the pumpkin spice forest. It's a lot less gross than the
fleshy finger.
fleshy finger forest.
It was never the fleshy finger forest! Okay,
Like finger Twinkies.
wisdom saving throws.
Everybody or just us?
Just y'all.
All right. No problem.
Oh shit.
That's not great.
Oh
That's
no.
okay. 'Cause your boy got luck.
So does your girl.
Wisdom saving throws.
Good thing I get to pick.
Can I use bardic inspiration on saving throws?
Do you have
I
your
think
Peerless?
I do have Peerless.
And yeah.
Good, because I would like to also use that.
Cocked.
That's a D12. Oh, that's because it's your bardic inspiration. I
Yeah.
thought he was lucking again. I was like,
That's not how this works.
that's not how
21.
any of this works.
Okay.
13.
13.
Oh wait. 13.
Hang on.
I rolled a 2, y'all.
1 sec.
This was one of them. This was the other.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Damn.
Should have kept the one.
Not with them and Is in the necklace. If you had them, maybe, because it would be funny, but
All right, so as you are both moving towards the edge of the forest, it seems as if you notice Skadi is beginning to sort of list as she is flying, and her flap and propulsion kind of turns into a glide. And in her animal form, it's difficult for you to tell. But she all of a sudden appears to just be autopiloting forward and
And
begins to be gliding.
I'm gonna glide and bump into her.
And as you do, she's actually able to just barely kind of correct, and you're all sort of sensing a minor jostle. Nothing drastic, but gets back to it, and you begin to flap and keep your eyes straight again.
Winds must have picked
Hey,
up.
you
I
good?
know I zoned out, right?
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah, there's some shit here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's.
shit.
Why don't we land in camp?
Okay.
Well, you guys make it to
Bermuda Triangle of the Shadowfell.
bringing down just 100 feet or so outside of the flesh forest.
Why don't?
How?
Yeah.
We're Iceborne again.
Drop form. Don't poop an eagle.
I think you should put the mansion up and we'll let them out there. Because something happened when we, crossed the thing, and I just don't want them to have to worry about it.
Did I feel anything try to mess with me as well? Okay. What do you mean?
Well, you know, I kind of zoned out there for a minute.
Are you
Yeah.
guys still in the necklace?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been let
Was
out.
that because we were gliding and it's the air on your eyes maybe?
No, something. No.
All right.
I think we should let them off in the necklace. Or not in the necklace, in the mansion.
Okay. All right. I will put up the mansion outside Twinkie trees.
I'm gonna rush inside.
Okay. You rush inside. Let Hara and Walker
Yes, and Is out.
And Is out.
Before I cast the mansion, I would like to imagine succulent turkey legs and plump chicken breasts and ice cream and taco bar stuff and apples
Okay.
and other things.
Okay.
Grilled leeks.
Okay. So, the mansion appears. You all step inside.
Did we get a chance to look at the flesh forest before we got
You guys didn't.
even out of the necklace?
It's part of her form.
But she became iceborn when she was talking about going
Oh
into
yeah,
the-
that's right. Sure. I mean, I'll give you a perception at disadvantage.
I want to see how gross it actually is.
37.
It's 24.
Yeah. So inside the necklace, particularly difficult to see, and your window is extremely small. Skadi also hurried very much into the mansion. So the opportunity for you to even look was not as much an investigation as much as a general gauge. But all of the trees seem to have these red, plump leaves. The trunks themselves all seem sort of almost pink and fleshy. And it seems as if the
inflated leaf. They just like
Poking it, yeah, and blood. That's exactly what
And
I'm
the-
picturing.
a number of the trees that you were able to quick get a glance as she was turning, it seems as if they have like these abrasions, rashes or bruising or something to that effect. It's difficult to tell.
yeah, they're people trees.
I threw up before I went in.
Just spin and run.
Just body graffiti on the mansion.
Okay, so you guys are in the mansion.
Yeah.
All right, Ragnar, do we have meat? Yes.
Chicken.
Shit.
Is it just horse? You have chicken. Turkey? Some kind of bird meat. Okay. Is needs food.
Disappears.
So you guys, there's some kind of something when I got close to the forest that when we leave the mansion, brace yourselves, I guess is the best way I can, because you might get hit with some
Well, I mean, it's been raining ash forever.
Right. I don't mean physical stuff. When you
Green sword.
yeah, green sword. And also, just FYI, it's gross.
What?
Well, yeah, that forest is disgusting.
Yeah, it's made of flesh, actually. So,
It's made
I
of
know,
flesh, actually.
The necklace kind of has this tiny window.
Yep.
I got it. Ugh.
So,
I mean, we gotta go through it. Just
right.
don't
So
make
it's kind
friends.
of a brace your mind, brace your soul, brace your life, because ew.
Hey, do you think they're actually trees? Like, if you tried to travel via plants, it would.
I'm not. If you guys want to try that, that's fine. I'm not even. Nope.
Oh, I actually passed.
Not even. That was a Kira thing. Wow.
The old flesh funnel.
Yeah.
Right.
Give you some of these.
No, so we're not.
Prestidigitate all the ash
We're
off.
not gonna do that. I'll cast it if you want to travel via plants, but no.
Nah.
And actually, I don't know any other plants on this plane. I would just you'd travel 5 feet further.
I mean, you could try to talk to like the
Don't.
plant.
It'll probably be a person, and then it's gonna probably be like, oh my god, I'm a tree.
But then we'd know that.
Mm-hmm.
This
Yeah.
place is icky.
Yeah, no one thinks has value.
Okay, so I'm gonna go out the door quick.
Oh.
All right, I'm gonna
Bye-bye.
follow behind her, playing
Well, do something to help
jaunty
yourself with
tunes
your brainness.
as a counter charm.
Guidance?
So, Walker, I know you weren't there. We were at this other elf village on the material plane called Green Sword, and there was this blue stuff everywhere, and if it touched you, it messed with your head, or more, it messed with mine.
Okay.
I almost got eaten by a hag, I think.
So yeah.
That wasn't Green Sword, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we
The hag
kind
was
of.
in
There was
Green
there
Sword?
was
There
a,
was
there
a
was a
hag.
weak hag.
Yeah.
Oh, that was literally Jones was not present at that session.
Right. Jones was not.
Got it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Sproigins was.
Got it.
But I think that's why I have this necklace, because I kept failing to protect my own brain against it. Anyways, so do things for yourself if you think there's something hinky going on.
Bye, guys.
I'm staying in here.
What if it attacks?
What if the tree finger tries to get you?
Yeah,
How do you have to touch it? Do you have to touch it?
No, it just has to be within 30 feet. But
Oh,
if it
we'll stay 30 fucking feet away.
but if it attacks, are we prepared to fight a flesh tree?
Nope.
Or should we wait until tomorrow?
I mean, if one is gonna attack, they're all gonna attack, and we gotta fight hundreds of gross flesh trees.
They don't look very mobile. They
Okay,
look mobile.
stay 30 feet
You have
away.
no idea.
Just pick one that looks less gross, and talk to it.
Pick the
Now come out there
prettiest
with
tree
you.
among the bunch.
Okay, I'm gonna walk out the door.
Okay.
Right behind her.
Okay. And
How close? How far is a tree if I'm literally standing outside the door?
a couple hundred feet.
I'm gonna turn around and walk back and say, I don't want to do this yet. I want to do it with a group. I don't want to do it.
Okay, well, is it a taxing enough?
I didn't throw up on you.
You have the face.
Yeah, but I got a 17, so we're good.
I don't know what that means. Okay. Is that a taxing enough spell that you're gonna want to do it tomorrow?
No.
Or, okay.
No, it's not that. It's that it's gross, and if I have to walk that far away from the mansion and the whole group is not here, I don't want to do it. So I'll wait.
Well, you look at it and it seems that far, but you're also not sure, outside of the broken mire that you were just in, how covering ground seems to work.
Also, that remember when like we would walk and it would take forever.
Yeah.
Good
So
plan.
like, what if it takes like 6 hours for me to get there? I want to sleep. Nope, I want to go to bed, and Skadi's gonna walk upstairs.
Okay. She didn't even get.
It's actually, you hear kind of,
What's up, bud?
You go sleep?
Well, what do you want to do?
I go sleep?
Or should we eat?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go eat.
Tiny, in the white blue elves, they gave me chicken, so I'm very full. I had a lot of chicken.
I'm so happy. It's been a long time since you've had like all the chicken you can eat.
I told him bring me more chicken.
Yeah?
He ran away.
Okay, Regnon. Can you bring him more chicken? He's gonna bring you more chicken, bud.
I know he is.
Well, he ran away to get you more chicken when you told him to bring you more chicken, right?
Yeah. Because Mustache was telling them to make chickens. And then all of a sudden, Horny was in here. I want to have taco. I heard it. And then the other one, I didn't want to get outside. He said, I don't want to go outside. And then I ate more chicken.
That's my boy. You're gonna have more chicken, aren't you? Because Is gets what he wants.
Yeah, chicken.
Do you want me to have him bring the chicken up to your room?
Yeah.
Because then you can lay by the fire
Yeah.
and eat the chicken.
That's right.
And then are you gonna go to sleep on your back with all your legs in your belly? Hanging.
Don't sleep like that.
You do when you're full, hon.
I sleep like this.
You sleep so cute.
Stop it.
You sleep so handsome.
Okay.
Drop me off a block away from school, Mom.
starts kind of trudging up the stairs.
Can I just say that I love that he calls you Mustache Whitney
Horny.
horny, and you're the other one.
You're the not blue elf.
Yeah.
Okay, Regnon, whoever's getting Is's chicken, please bring it up to his room. And I'll come back downstairs to eat because my child told me to.
Okay.
I want to eat tacos. Regnon tacos. No tacos?
Fish tacos.
Veggie tacos?
All the meat.
Chicken
went to
Why
S.
do we even use
All
this
the
thing
chicken went to
anymore?
S.
You see several Regnons come in, start chopping up a bunch of leeks. Seems like another few are working on some bread pudding.
Oh shit! She changed the fucking menu. Okay, Regnon.
I think it's
Whatever,
adorable.
whatever my mom told you to make, disregard it. Bread pudding, throw it away. Get rid of it.
Two Regnons just.
Yep, that's right. Fuck that bread pudding. No more bread pudding ever. Only chicken, only beef, only vegetables, only fruits, and rabbit, and what is it? Goat! And goat!
And
Friendly local goat!
You see a bunch of Regnons running out of the kitchen hurriedly, sort of just throwing bread pudding prepared, ingredients behind their shoulders as they just charge out. And then you see a bunch of them run back in with like fish and goat and beef.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
whoop 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 whoop. Who runs this place?
I do now. That's right.
That's right, Mom.
Yep, that's right.
I'm
Can't
grown.
Can't do shit when you kicked out.
So they begin to go to work. Before too long, a wide spread of meats is presented for taco bars, finishing earlier because they require both less preparation and were asked for before the meat situation was even addressed. Vegetarian tacos presented to you as well. And you all begin the process of consuming, eating, and for the first time in a little while, having a decent meal in the mansion.
Back to the good old days.
That's right. Am I doing any... Do you want me to do any...
Here's the rest of the incense, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Yes.
Where should I do it on?
Whoa, what are you doing?
I made you a
my,
list.
Magic research.
While you were up
Are there
talking to
any
the
windows
old dude.
to like see outside the mansion?
I hope you can read that. I also want to flip through my Demon Legend book to see if there's anything about a Harbor of Souls.
Okay. Tell you what, though, first, Walker. I need a wisdom saving throw, bud.
That's right, bro. Choose to save.
Nope, don't get that till tomorrow. 15.
15. So, while they're discussing the details of this spell,
Important details.
yes, and what might be required for it, what might need to be prepared, you hear footsteps. But not from inside. Big footsteps. Outside. And you feel that similar pull drawing you towards the exterior. You open the door and you see Advara standing directly outside of it.
Do any of us see him do that?
Let's say you guys are in the kitchen doing your talk thing.
I thought he was with us.
I mean, he could have walked away.
He
and we wouldn't
purposefully
have.
stepped away. Well, sure. I'll give everyone perception at disadvantage as you're all occupied. And Walker,
24.
Make a stealth roll.
Natural. Oh, disadvantage?
Yep,
Fuck. You said perception?
yep. Go ahead and make a stealth roll.
Ooh. You can't pass without you trace yourself.
Is it still active?
I don't know.
No,
up to
it's
you.
only an hour.
Yeah. That's
And then we went through the whole city and then flew.
No.
Oh.
We Pass Without a Trace was right before we did the cliff.
You did it again?
No, you're correct.
Yeah, okay, so it would be expired. What'd you get?
24.
Anybody beat it?
28.
28.
Okay, so
What'd you get?
27.
you all hear the jiggle of the handle as Walker opens the door. You see Advara standing there.
Walker, what are you doing?
I run after him.
Wait.
Why?
Walker doesn't seem to acknowledge you as he is somewhat transfixed. Or is anybody doing anything?
I'm running after
Do
him.
we
I'm not-
see? I feel like he hasn't left yet. Do we see her?
No, the kitchen is like.
Yeah, it's
I'm going after him. Do I see her through the door?
yeah.
Fuck this.
That's
Like-
where I meant. Wait. Yes.
Like to imagine this like cartoon like.
If I have hold
Feet
person,
like-
I want to cast it. Where's my spell list?
So, but as you are standing there, it's not just Advara. She seems to be leaning against this sort of staked form, this pillar-like thing. And you kind of move yourself through the threshold a little bit, and the pillar continues to go up. She's leaning against a leg bone. And as you look up, there is a skeleton that is 40 or so feet tall. And its ribs, people scrambling, trying to force themselves out and escape, holding this massive club and this dagger that seems to glitter and is still almost dripping like a permanent bloodstream, thin as it may be, kind of just standing over her form. Kind of dials in and looks at you, but seems to be standing in place. For the first time ever, sort of casually, she kind of like hips herself off the leg. Dear brother, I have missed you so. Please, we are finally together again. Come home and let us rule the Gloryfell together again. You'll have your mantle as king.
Not me.
Yeah.
We'll be seeing each other shortly. I'm coming to you. Be patient.
You think you have a chance to save that childish bitch? I will skin you like the rest before you.
Who am I speaking with?
Don't worry, you'll see her soon. Come. We have adventure to prepare for. And you see the skeletal form in this crazy shift with these purple forms, humanoids circling around its body, and a burst disappears. Bye, brother. And she blinks out of existence. That's where we're going to leave it this week.
That bitch be crazy.
So, interesting call. I like it though.
Yeah.
We are going to be picking up from the group outside the Sushi Straw Forest in the Shadowfell.
Come on, it's the fingered lick finger.
Oh,
It's the pumpkin spice forest.
I don't like that you literally
Well, I had to angle it, or
Yeah,
else
you
it's
like-
just for you guys. I'm gonna try to do something for anybody who's still watching.
That's the entertainment value we want to provide is the cheek jiggle. We're
The cheap jiggle.
yeah, the cheek jiggle.
Oh.
We're more highbrow entertainment than that. I'll have you know. Anyways, hey everybody, thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Every single Friday, 7 p.m. we will be here. Tell your friends, tell your kids, tell your wife. Every Friday out here. That's right. Share with your friends. Sub if you can, because right now, like I said, September is still going. They can renew for $1, and that's great for us. It's the support we need. Share,
Good for you.
Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. We appreciate you. Congrats to our winners again
Yay!
for the great stuff. We'll be doing
Yeah.
another giveaway next week. And until we see you next time, party on.
Bye.
Bye, guys.